making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Let's do it.
Leading off the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Don't expect to get pros after this for you.
All right, what's going on here? All right, hold on. Are you muted? Yeah, you're muted. You're muted. Why would we have 2 things? Oh, I got it. Go. Okay, hold on. Are you? Let's start again. Always Mondays. Here's the 49.
Second down, 7. Kittle, use check. Ayuk, they're going to motion, use check out left. Purdy going to throw. Throws back right. Wide open, Ayuk. Touchdown! San Francisco.
Ayuk is on fire! Best throw of the second half, without question, from Brock Purdy.
Aha. Well, hold on. I was told Brock Purdy couldn't throw downfield. I was told this. I read it many times. I read that all he can do is check down. All he can do is dink and dunk. And it's basically what he does is either hand the ball off or it's a screen pass. And then Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, CMC, they do all the work. And then he basically just says, hut, hike. Well, because that's what QBs say. And then he hands the ball off. But that happened.
Yeah.
It was neat. Where'd that come from?
That's right. Where did that come from?
I don't understand. Somehow he threw for 368 yards.
Yeah.
And is still averaging, his receivers are averaging less yards after the catch than the last 3 MVP winners.
Interesting.
It's really strange. We're going to talk about the Brock Purdy narratives today just for funsies. He did have the 1 pick, which on the surface was like, probably not his fault. But it all comes down to, and I don't know the answer here, did Purdy lead Ayuk wrong or did Ayuk stop running the route? Right. Either way, a rare interception. Another $122 rating for the day, a career-high 368 yards to go with a couple of touchdowns. Funny enough, Christian McCaffrey did not get in the end zone.
He didn't. After that opening run, then I'm like,
72 yards.
Come on.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Debo was once again sublime, and as you heard, Brandon Ayuk there was just he is a full-on grown man receiver. Yes. Debo 149 yards, Brandon Ayuk 126 yards, George Kittle 76 yards, with longs of 54, 45, 44, and then of course the 72-yard run from Christian McCaffrey. This game was closer than I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
This game definitely was. It looks like a pedestrian 12-point win, in which I believe the Niners were favored by 11.5. So good for them. But it was anything but. This was a little bit of a battle in there, and we still don't know what the toll was.
All right.
As we will we'll talk to Matt Barrows today, who will hopefully have some preliminary information on injuries. We'll talk again about that Niner game, big win over the Seahawks, going to 10-3, and some other things that happened in the NFL. We'll do that at 6:27 in just 10 minutes. Meanwhile, cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Fox open left corner, 3 on the way. Ring it up. And De'Aaron Fox, for the 8th time this season, has now scored 30 or more points in a ball game. And he is gone from, what did I say he had? Halftime, he had 6. He had 11 at the end of the third quarter, and he's got 32 now. 21 fourth quarter points for Fox. His career high in fourth quarter scoring is 22 points. He's done it on 2 occasions. He's 1 point away from equaling that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good in the fourth.
He is great in the fourth quarter. He was great this game specifically, and that game was a little bit wobbly at times too for the Kings, especially without the guys that the Phoenix Suns didn't have. But in the end, it's about winning. They did win, and keep it going through 20 games, 12-8. Not so bad.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today too. Expectations, where they are right now. They should be higher. That's for sure. But my goodness, did I hear and read a lot of, I wouldn't sound like saying complaining because it makes it sound like people are whining. I don't mean it like that. Just a lot of hemming and hawing over the win. And it's like, wait a minute, you went into Phoenix and they still have, Devin Booker and friends. And you did get a road win. Lord knows this team has played down to their competition at times.
Yeah.
You won. And you had some pretty good games from some pretty good guys. Yet there was still a little bit of a, I'm just wondering if that's a victim of expectations or.
I think it's a weird premise that a lot of times when another team doesn't have a player or 2 good players in this case, that's a win. Mm-hmm. Like there's just such an automatic thought on that. Remember how many games the Kings won when Fox wasn't? They won some games. So aren't those like, shouldn't that other team have beaten the Kings? Like people win all the time in the NBA without players. It happens all the time.
You still had Devin Booker. You still had.
Even if Booker was out. Like again, you should win the game, but there are other people that can beat you. There's a roster filled with talented players.
Well, and I think to your point too, how many times, in fact, I saw the jokes before the game when it was announced that, we knew Beal would be up, but Durant was out too, that's a sure Kings killer. Mm-hmm. How many times in the past have teams been missing stars and the Kings go and lay an egg?
Right.
They won the game.
Right.
They won the game. They're 12-8. They're above 500 on the road. They haven't come out of the box averaging, on pace to average 65 wins, but we should have a little.
But is this a 65 win team?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I don't believe it's
I don't
a 65
think so.
Win team. Things are, and oh, by the way, we'll get to this too. But when you look at the top 7, the Kings are 7-0 against the Suns, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Mavs, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves. That's your top 7. They are 0-5 versus the Rockets, the Clippers, and the Pelicans, which are by the way, your 8, 9, and 10. Right?
Maybe 0-6.
Well, hold on. So you got 2 with the 2 with the Pelicans, 1 with the Clippers, and 2 with the Rockets?
3 with the Pelicans.
Oh, God, that's right. I remember that stat from before the game.
Already forgetting about the tournament.
Yeah.
I hate the Pelicans.
No. Yeah. Kings could have lost by 40 to the Lakers.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have, but could have. They could have done that.
We're talking about the NBA Cup at 7:27. I know this is boohoo, cry, whine, whatever. I believe fairly strongly. I'm not going to go the whole way and say that the Kings were a home win against the Pelicans from winning the Cup, but I think they were a home win against the Pelicans from facing the Pacers and probably being favored to win the NBA Cup. They beat the Pelicans. They're going to, not almost certainly, but.
That's a pretty motivated Laker team.
DeMontis Sabonis is 8-0 against Anthony Davis.
Okay. Until he's not, right?
Yeah, until he's not. What are we at?
You see that version of Davis on Saturday? That's the best version that's out there. It doesn't show up enough.
No.
That version was incredible.
Golly, the Pelicans are just, what the hell was that?
Yeah, what the Helicans?
What the Helicans? Number 3.
Cut number 3.
Deep and high and gone and 45.
Hey, were the Giants second again? Or are they third?
They're probably 5th. Who the hell knows? When you look back on it, there was one team that commented about the meetings with Shohei Ohtani's crew, and that was Dave Roberts and the Dodgers. There was an article that came out, he was The Athletic, on Thursday, that really did kind of a great angle on the Ohtani sweepstakes and the fact that Ohtani and his camp. I want to be careful with what I say here because this is always a lava pit. I think that we, in trying to figure out where Shohei Ohtani was going, in some aspects underrated the cultural aspect of Shohei Ohtani and the fact that he is Japanese. And what I mean by that is that there are some things over there, both stereotypically, and you have a lot of, there's a lot of other things that go into, I think, decisions that get made over there. The Japanese culture in some ways is just so completely different than the culture over here. And I mean that in a wonderful way. I absolutely love Japanese culture. I love just about everything about it. And I think what comes with that is a deep sense of loyalty, gratitude, and also awareness. And I read this article about the effect Shohei Ohtani's move was going to have on those that surrounded him, his translators, his trainers, his family, all the people that would also have to relocate. And you're talking about like 20-something people that would have to move their lives. Now, I'm not saying that's why he stayed there, but I think honestly what it came down to is I don't have to do anything other than go from a team that is chronically bad and not in the playoffs to a team that is chronically good and always in the playoffs. And I don't have to move. Nobody has to move. I'm getting the money I want. I'm just going to be in the playoffs every year now. And I think there was a lot. I think what it really came down to, honestly, and we'll see the postmortems, Jason. I think it came down to the Angels and the Dodgers. And I think the Angels were a real threat, in part because of that loyalty aspect and wanting to stay comfortable and with the only Major League Baseball team he's known. But in the end, you get everything you want. You don't have to change your address, and you do well to those that surrounded you as well.
Yeah, and I don't know that it was because some of these other teams didn't offer enough money. They just couldn't offer that.
Yeah, I don't think there weren't, as I use like a quadruple negative here. Let me reset. I'm pretty sure there were other teams that were willing not only to hit 700, but probably go slightly above it. In the end, and again, Jeff Passan or Ken Rosenthal, somebody will have a postmortem, but I don't think the Dodgers outbid everyone. I would like to know where it fell with the Giants. Mm-hmm. Were they in or were they out? And also, we'll have a talk about value today. $70 million a year, which is more currently than the entire payroll of 8 teams in Major League Baseball. And I think the most amazing stat, because you see these with contracts all the time. What was it? Between now and the end of the contract, as soon as he signs it to the end of the contract, you had the whole, here's what he'll make after tax. I think it was Shohei Ohtani will make $2.19 a second.
Wow.
Like he just made $7. He just made another 10. Like since the start of the show,
Shohei lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
It will also most likely be even more than that because the story is that he deferred a bunch of it.
Yes, he did.
So I think like his grandkids are going to be paid by the Dodgers.
I mean, you want to talk about the Bobby Bonilla thing. Yeah. This is Bobby Bonilla on a whole new level. I think maybe my favorite tweet of the whole thing was, congratulations to the state of California for signing Shohei Ohtani to a 10-year, $370 million contract, which is obviously what they'll get in taxes. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Niners beat the Seahawks. Tom Bailey's in a bad mood. That's his Seattle team. Will Seattle ever beat the Niners again? I don't even know. We'll take a break. We got audio next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Digest sins of slow play suggest precious time is wasted waiting for your turn to hit. If you're on the other side of the fairway, you can take your practice swing while someone else is playing their shot. And if you're walking, when you get to the green, leave your bag closest to the next tee box. Golf is social, but tell your great story while you're walking the fairways and not on the tee box or putting green. Next, don't be delusional. If there's only a remote chance of reaching the green or clearing a hazard, just lay up. The group behind you will love you for it. If you have to take a call, move away, and maybe even sacrifice your involvement in the hole to keep things moving. And last is not hitting the ball. PGA Pro Mike Bender wrote golf's 8-second secret and argues that the time from when you set your lead foot, step over the ball, and swing to finish should take 8 seconds, but most take twice that long with practice swings, waggles, and whatnot. For a bogey golfer, that's an extra 12 minutes times 4 golfers. Remember, golf is a game. Have some fun, but do it expeditiously. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Well, what about the last of those Dodge Chargers and Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
This savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. $16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample bin 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of the eligible First Responder Association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10% savings. See dealer for details.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Here is a toss going the other way, away from Adams. A toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20. Devin Witherspoon, he cuts inside on him and toasted it all the way down to the 3-yard line on the first play of the game. CMC Dynamite.
These channels some JJ Walker. Jeez.
I've told you this before, but one of my main fantasy league touchdowns are important like everything else, but it's distance of touchdown.
Yeah.
That one hurt. Because that's a whopper if he scores.
Because you get the 6 points plus the bonus points for the.
It's more. It's like literally the distance. Like that's a massive point getter.
Because we have distance bonuses too, and I'm trying to remember. So you would get the 6 for the touchdown. You would get whatever the yardage is. So that would have been 72, 73 yards. So that would have been 13 points just straight scoring. And then, I think in ours, it would have been another like 5 or 6 for the distance.
Yeah, ours is even larger.
Is it really?
Talking about a 30-pointer.
So you go from, hold on. So oh my God. So you
ours
go
aren't 6.
Oh,
touch. Yeah, it's.
So you go from 30 though to 7 for the yards?
7.2. Yeah, like literally the 72 yards, 7.2. Yeah. So it would have been 37.2.
Oh, woof.
And then it's like, all right, well, then he's going to get a 10-pointer. The touchdown would have been 10, but they didn't give it to him.
And we'll get back to that and Kyle Shanahan and what's going on in that locker room. Because look who gets the touchdown.
72-yard run. McCaffrey needs a playoff, so J.P. Mason is in, and they're going to give it to him off the right side. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The closer with the vision and just cutting that ball back right inside Leonard Williams.
I was like, they don't have anything for J.P. Mason, do they?
They did.
Mason. I don't know what they're going to say.
Mason. Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have a cap. No, it wasn't really.
Jordan Mason jarred that one in.
Wow, look at that. Look, see? It's not like we don't know Greg Papa.
Yeah.
Could have texted him. Deebo Samuel caught footballs.
They send Deebo inside of Brandon Ayuk right, Kittle inside of Jawan Jennings left, and McCaffrey goes in motion, that bumper motion out right. Blitz from Bobby Wagner. They pick it up. Deep shot. Brock Purdy's going downfield for Deebo. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Deebo Samuel on a burner post, and Brock Purdy just does a great job.
Okay. So Deebo's got his touchdown.
Yep.
Now let's bring this all together. All right. So here we go. Let's go with Deebo again. Purdy does the thing Kyle Shanahan hates when he throws across his body, but in this case it worked, and Deebo did the rest.
The Niners need to score inside the red zone here to go up 2 scores at 14-10. Just 2 of 6 on third down. Bunch formation right. Purdy looks right. Now going to scramble out of it. Throw back across his body. Deebo's got the first down. Deebo takes it down to the goal line. Is he in? Is he in? Deebo right on the goal line. They're going to put him on the 1-yard line.
They're saying his knee was down.
On the field,
I don't know.
Short of the line of the game. It's first and goal.
Okay. So Deebo has this wonderful play, this huge gain. He's down at the 1. Now, earlier, Christian McCaffrey had a 72-yard run. They're down at the 1. They give the ball to Jordan Mason.
Yes.
Well, Deebo, same thing, down at the 1. Oh, what do?
Purdy under center, lone back McCaffrey, 8 yards. Deebo comes, they give it to Deebo on the handoff. Touchdown! San Francisco!
A little jet action, a little gadget action for Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, they gave it, Kyle wanted to give him the touchdown. Well, where was that with Christian McCaffrey?
I agree.
Yeah,
I have questions, Kyle.
Is there a rift in the locker room?
There's one here.
We're going to ask Matt Barrows about that. Brock Purdy was not done. Here's George Kittle.
49ers have run for 146 yards. McCaffrey has 134 on 10 carries. Play action to him. Purdy going to throw it on the sideline. Kittle's got it. The flag is down. 10-5. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And I think this is going to stand.
He was correct. Yeah. It was correct. It did stand. 44-yard touchdown to George Kittle. And that was that, friend. The 49ers win 28-16.
Yeah, I would say they've played better, but you know what? They had a season high in yards. It's just Seattle was hanging around. It was enough to where you're going, well, this isn't over. It's not fully comfortable, but I never felt like they were going to lose. I guess that's the way I would put it. So the last week obviously became easier and a kind of a walkthrough at the end. But when you play a division rival that knows you well, I thought Seattle did a good job of kind of staying in the game. They made enough plays to make it interesting. Drew Lock gets the start and did some good things. But look, it's another win. This team keeps rolling, and here they are tied for the top spot in the NFC. And by tiebreaker, they've got it.
And by tiebreaker, they have it. That's the big thing. The Eagles lost to the Cowboys yesterday, and now the Niners control their own destiny. Granted, with a more difficult schedule. The Eagles now have, this is reality, we'll talk about this later, the Eagles now have the easiest schedule in the NFL for the remainder of the season, and they deserve it. They just got done with an absolute gauntlet, and they went 5-2. And towards the end there, you can kind of tell they're running out of gas. We're going to talk quite a bit about don't. I'm in no way, shape, or form relaxing on the Eagles, Jason, at all.
Nor should you, right? And I think it's important for either team, all these teams, to get home field. You think about Dallas, right? I know people were wondering about Dallas doing what kind of damage, any kind of damage. Well, they won again yesterday, beat the Eagles. That helped the Niners, but here they are perfect at home. Dallas is probably the team like, hey, look, if we can somehow get number one, everybody would have to go through here, and they would like their chances.
Well, and congratulations to Dallas for finally beating a team above 500. Yeah. To be fair, the Seahawks were above 500. Just a quick note, Brock Purdy has just become the fourth quarterback in NFL history with a completion percentage of 70 or higher in 7 consecutive games. The others to do it, I mean, this is where the stat kind of falls off. Sam Bradford, Drew Brees, and the all-time leader with 8 in a row. Let me get the pronunciation right. God, how long ago was this? Joa Montana. Joa Montana?
Not familiar.
Montana? Joe Montana. Where the hell that was. We'll take a break when we come back. Kings, Suns, they host Brooklyn tonight. We'll talk about all that next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hold on to your Santa hats because Elk Grove Kia is turning up the holiday heat with deals that'll leave you saying no, no, no money down. This Christmas, keep your wallet at home because Elk Grove Kia is making your dreams come true with 0 down payment. That's right, absolutely nothing out of your pocket to drive home in a brand new Kia today. Or if you're ready to slay the season in style, picture this, the award-winning 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, the hottest sled in town, for just $439 per month plus tax. You heard it right, only $439. So whether it's the sleek 2024 Kia Telluride or the no money down offer, Elk Grove Kia says 0 hassles and 0 worries. ElkGroveKia.com. Qualified applicants, 0 down example, select number GK9133, 48 monthly, 0 down model number C3422, the right 24 monthly, 439 plus tax, 4495, do signing service security, plus residual, 33,352, and the years December 11, GK9133 expires 12.
Elk Grove Kia. At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Deuce and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural minds.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Coming up at 7:45-ish. The Jiffy Lube drive of the game.
Actually, I meant to tell you that. Yeah, I don't think there was one done on Friday.
Oh, there was not?
Yeah.
Coming up at 7:45. Not the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. All right, that's Ron Burgundy programmed right there. We'll get back to that tomorrow.
What just happened?
Yeah. Don't forget that at 7:45 tomorrow, you could win a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube.
Yes.
And the Sacramento Kings did, in fact, win against the Suns. They go to 6-5 on the road, 6-3 at home. They have won 6 of 10. They are 12-8. They are currently in the 6th seed. However, they are a half game out of the 3 seed, as Dallas, Denver, and the Lakers are all bunched up with the Kings at either 4 or 4.5 in the Kings' case, back from the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have won 6 in a row. Does that mean, have they won 6 in a row? Have they not lost since the Kings beat them?
They're the ones that benefit the most from not being in the Cup, because the 2 games they got last week were San Antonio and Memphis, the 2 worst teams in the West.
I was thinking about you the other day because I it's only fair because I celebrated the take for a long time with you, and not that it's invalid, but I will ask you: you were not a fan of the Gobert Karl Anthony Towns pairing. The Timberwolves right now are 17-4. They are the best record in the NBA. They have won 9 of 10. They have won 6 in a row. They have won 17 of 21. But for you, considering the fact, let's go back as well, because part of your take, which I fully agreed with, this part at least, was that's a lot to give up. They gave up Walker Kessler, the pick that turned into Walker Kessler, 4 first-rounders, and change for Rudy Gobert and that contract that came with him. What would it take? What do the Timberwolves need to do in your mind for you to say, I got it wrong?
Well, I don't know if it's that trade specific. I think where they recovered, honestly, was late in the year that no one seemed to pay attention to because there was so much going on the trade deadline. Getting Mike Conley.
Yes.
That was smart. I mean, they had I think the combination of D'Angelo Russell, Gobert, Ant, Town, I didn't think all of that was going to work. Ant's now become their best player, which is great.
Yes.
Towns is fully healthy, gives them a chance every night. But Conley was stabilized the whole thing. I think that was a really important piece. So, but look, they're doing it. They're doing it now, 17-4. They don't have to apologize for that. That's awesome. Off to an incredible start.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if, in fact, that lasts long term. But that is a hell of a start. In the meantime, the Kings play the Nets. Coming up in 3 for Madness, there's always something that every time we play the Nets here once a year, and every single time I need to figure out how long that's going to go for. Every single time, I'm crippled with one thought and one thought only. By the way, apropos of nothing, can we just mention real quick that the Detroit Pistons have lost 19 in a row?
No.
19.
They were 2-1.
They're now 2-20.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when Jaden Ivey didn't want to play for the Kings?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaden Ivey is now coming off the bench
With Marvin Bagley.
And I wish Jaden Ivey, by the way, nothing but the best. And I fully understand why he wanted to go to Detroit. His family's like one of the first families of Detroit athletically. Excuse me. I understand it. I don't hold anything against him. And oh, by the way, we got Keegan Murray. I just kind of want to. I always, we spend so much time on, we should have drafted Luka, or we traded the wrong guy, point guard, or what's the new one? We should have drafted Alperen Şengün instead of Davion Mitchell. Like that one's starting to gain some steam. Which, by the way, we should have. I just don't think we do enough of. We were supposed to. How many people in this? I specifically remember polls taken. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Polls taken in this city that were consistently around 65-35, you better take Jaden Ivey. You got to take Jaden Ivey. That's the pick. Best player available. Who cares if he fits with Fox or not? He's the next Ja Morant. Keegan Murray is 39 years old. His game is not going to translate. And all I'm saying, that's not to look, everyone's wrong. Hi, guy who said we should trade Fox. Like, everyone's wrong. But just as a credit to the GMs every once in a while when they do something like that that's right, we're quick to go back and slam them for who they didn't pick. I also think it's okay to go back and go, they knew better on this one.
Yeah, I think, I don't even know how you would do a feature on this, but how you build a good team.
Yeah.
That roster, Detroit's filled with lottery picks.
They really, really are.
It's not working. And so I'm not saying, they weren't all their draft picks, but if it's Wiseman and Bagley, they've taken from other teams. Their own draft picks, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren. I forget who else is a lottery pick from that team. They just have a bunch of them. Ivy, you mentioned.
Marvin Bagley.
So, but that's not, the Kings went through that stretch. I think the worst basketball we had here for Sacramento was those years where they had lottery picks. And you got to get some of them right, and the Kings didn't at that time. But then you could just find teams that mix and match, find a hodgepodge, and wow, they're a good team. It's amazing how certain teams become good and others don't.
There's still a long way to go, especially when you consider the guy just turned 22 years old. But I remember the whole fade for Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Cade Cunningham was like the end-all, be-all, will switch your franchise around. Now, he's had injury issues, and to be fair to him, he's averaging 22 points, over 7 assists, and 4 boards a game. That's pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Killian Hayes was a lottery pick as well. When you Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, as you said, Osar Thompson, that's a lottery pick.
So there's like 7 on their team.
Yep, and don't they have James Wiseman?
Yeah.
So, and that's a number 2 pick, along with Bagley. Probably the 2 over the last decade, number 2 picks that have faded the most. And it's one of those things too, where now I'm thinking, Jason, just a thought exercise. It's like, well, do you go after the Pistons and go, maybe these guys' value is low. There's a lot of talent there. They're just in a terrible organization. But now I'm starting to think, and maybe the answer is obvious. Sorry, my head's cloudy. Is there a history of lottery picks that were terrible somewhere that ended up going to a team and excelling after like 3-4 years of sucking?
A history of it?
I'm trying to think of anyone. I know it exists. I'm just top of my head. I'm struggling to find someone that was like, on this crap team or whatever, and then went and found new surroundings, and then they really blossomed. Yeah. I don't know. And so is it a failure in scouting? My point is, we've talked about this before, Jason. In Sacramento, for example, when things were going well, it didn't matter it did matter who we drafted, but it seemed like regardless of who we drafted, regardless of who we signed, Oh, hey, look, there's Kevin Martin. Oh, look, here's Vernon Maxwell. Here's Scott Pollard. Here's John Barry. Here's Jimmy Jackson. Like all these guys, you show up on this team, you're instantly like, we made tens of millions of dollars back then for a lot of players. So that to me is culture and the team. But is it, or is it also mostly just scouting? I never know which to give more credit to.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a one that gets more than the other, but it's probably like anything, combo of all of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, here you are. I don't know why we spent so much time on Detroit, but hey, that's I you know what? I think I do know why we spent so much time on Detroit, because, and not to point a finger and laugh, because certainly Kings fans can be as humble as anyone, but for the grace of God, when I type of thing like that's. We're not that far removed, maybe not from 19 in a row.
But pretty lousy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you're in Detroit.
Right.
Ugh.
So enjoy this 12-8 so far.
Yeah.
Hey, you're just a drive away from Toronto.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, and you have the Lions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
They do have the Lions.
They have the Lions.
Facts.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Are the Red Wings any good now?
Lions and Tigers and Red Wings. Oh my!
I feel like the Red Wings aren't good, right? We'll have to do an NA. That's coming up in our NHL segment.
Yeah.
Watch, they've won like 20 in a row.
I know. They could have won 20 in a row, lost 20. I would have no idea. When we come back, let's get back to the Niners. They beat the Hawks. Let's update you on the seeding situation. What is going on with Philly and the clinching situations in and around the NFL? You might be surprised. We'll do that next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Are you retired or retiring soon? Do you know how much money you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. These may feel like scary times. Several economists are saying that a recession is imminent. So what do? Ancient wisdom says plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have an actionable plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan is executed to take advantage of market gains, but protect you from market losses. We would like to give you a free, no-obligation consultation to help you do all three. We will help you discover your magic number and give you the roadmap to get there. Call now to schedule your free consultation. 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108. 800-508-6108. Don't wait. Call 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Frosty start for some, a little bit of patchy fog this morning, but otherwise we'll see partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies through the afternoon. Expect highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Save big every day during Lowe's 25 Days of Deals. Save $100 on select master-built smokers for the grill enthusiast in your life. Plus, get up to 55% off select smart home gifts for everyone on your list. Order eligible in-stock items by 2 p.m. to get same-day delivery. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/13. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Delivered by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now is the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblet. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. $16,500 total net savings after $10,261 factory rebates and $6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN $699,991. Rebates include $1,000 case equipment cash unless you purchase qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and $500 first responder cash for members of the eligible first responder association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. $5,500 total net savings after $2,000 factory rebates and $3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with $3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Allied Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 each net savings.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Hour number 2. Matt Barrows at 9. Fuck. 9th. 8 a.m. Frankie Cardicelli in. Our Kings Insider. And my guess is we'll talk Kings on that one. That's my guess. That's my plan. There was a Twitter Spaces yesterday. This isn't a joke, although it definitely sounds like it. It was Elon Musk. We're welcoming back Alex Jones. Presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy was on there. And a cast of other characters. And towards the end of the space, Vivek Ramaswamy forgot to mute his mic while he was taking a leak.
He did a naked gun.
Yeah, he went full naked gun, dude. And it's just a reminder, happened to the best or worst of us.
Yeah.
Always mute your mic. Always mute your mic in this day and age of Twitter Spaces and Zooms. That is such a like a fear. Like, I'm so afraid of doing something like that someday. Or like my wife will be working from home and I've done this before. I'll roll in there. It's like summertime, so I'm in my uniform with sleeveless shirt and boxers. And I roll in there like get the dog or something. And I do like Fred Flintstone because she's on a Zoom. And I'm just walking, and I'm praying nobody saw, her husband in the background just, here, puppy. And, he's rolling around in his boxers and tank top. Yeah, so just it's a friendly neighborhood reminder to mute your microphone or just hold it and wait till the
That's
end.
another idea.
The Niners didn't hold nothing. They won 28-16, fell short of 30.
Failures.
Yeah, don't be. They pulled a Kevin Herter. They were afraid of 30. They get the win. Big win for them. They now, with the Rams' loss, have a 4-game lead with 4 left in the NFC West. I'm pretty sure they're going to clinch at some point.
Yeah, that's in the bag.
As far as clinching goes, though, Jason, speaking of Vivek Ramaswamy, as far as that goes, one note about the clinching situation. So the Niners and the Eagles are tied for the 1 seed. Niners have the tiebreaker.
And the Cowboys.
Niners have the tiebreaker there. Niners control their own destiny. They win out, they will be the 1 seed. But what about the rest of the NFL? I mean, there's only 4 weeks left, right? Well, nobody's clinched. Nobody has clinched. Now, if the Giants Packers tonight, Monday Night Football?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? If the Giants beat the Packers tonight, the 49ers clinch. If the Packers win tonight, which they probably will, I mean, they're favored, we're going to head into week 15 of 18 with absolutely 0 of the 14 spots in the NFL playoffs clinched. 30 of the 32 teams in the NFL are still alive.
Yeah, what is it? New England and Carolina are out?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
Remember there's 2 Monday Night Football games tonight.
Yes.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Miami and the Titans. Yeah, that's
You
stupid.
didn't remember the Titans?
It's nice. Well done. Dolphins favored by 14. I think I speak for a lot of people who's like half of their fantasy teams are going tonight. There's a lot of that going on. I think I have 6 players going.
Wow.
Tonight. Yeah, I have Mostert,
Dolphins,
Achane, Tua, Derrick Henry. I think my kicker or something. I don't know. Anyways, who cares? So yeah, it's kind of crazy, the whole situation going on right now in the NFL in a good way. I love it. Parody. But when you look, for example, Jason, at the AFC South, the entire division lost yesterday. The Jaguars are in first at 8-5. The Colts and Texans, had they just simply won, they'd be sitting at the in a 3-way tie with the Jags.
Yeah,
both pretty good stories, by the way.
Well, standings wise too, my bigger issue will be in the NFC. If it keeps going as is, let's just kind of assume this is going to fall in line with Cowboys, Eagles, Niners winning 12, 13 games, something like that, maybe more. Likely, well, the division winner of the NFC South is going to be 9-8, 8-9, well, 7-10.
You got 3 tied at 6-7 right now.
And that team's going to get a home game. And that Philadelphia, Dallas runner-up is going on the road.
Yep. It is, and again, hot take incoming, my opinion. Divisions in sports are just so played out to me.
Yeah.
They're just so played out. There is no logical reason that the 6-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers get in. You know, they wouldn't be 6-7 when they do, obviously, but there will be some crap ass NFC South team that will get in, and this happens every year. And meanwhile, there will be some team that is better than them, that has played in a tougher division, that has played a tougher schedule, but they don't get in because of this arbitrary, we have divisions. Divisions mattered back in the day because of travel, and I understand, and get off me with the whole forming regional rivalry things. Get off me with that, dude. The Niners' biggest rival right now, what is it, the Cowboys, the Eagles? It's not the Seahawks. It's not the Rams. It's not the Cardinals. You form rivalries based on who else is good that you play. And every year, every other year, you could have it simply in the playoffs. Now, there's a lot going into the Warriors and Kings and that rivalry, but that rivalry was cemented. It became a rivalry in the playoffs, which they could have faced if the Warriors were in the Western Conference, Southwest, Northeast, Pacific, whatever the hell. It's just, and you see this in baseball and you see it in basketball. I don't know why they have divisions anymore.
Yeah, I say on this on all levels of sports. Either you accentuate them more and make it 100% about the divisions and like feature your whole schedule that way, or you just get rid of them.
Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
I say just get rid of them. Just go conference. Just go conference and take your top whatever. It is incredibly, again, unfair. Imagine you've got a team that, because they're in such a tough division, they're playing that division more, which means they had a tougher schedule. Meanwhile, you've got ding-dong kids table division, and they play each other and take turns screwing up, and somebody backs into first place. And they should get a home. They should get in the playoffs though, because they finished first in the NFC South. Get out of here. The Detroit Lions costly loss yesterday.
Big time.
Very much a costly loss. And when you look at the 3 lost teams in the NFL now, the Niners, the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and then, of course, the Miami Dolphins can also join everybody at 10-3. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have lost 2 in a row. They're 8-5. This looks like a very vulnerable team right now. We'll talk about them a little bit more at 7:44. But now you have this situation, Jason. Miami will more than likely join these 10-3 folks. Miami seems like Dallas East, by the way, to me, how everything's kind of shaking out. I mean, again, credit to Dallas, big win last night. But I'm not buying.
What's it going to take for you to buy Dallas?
Look, I don't want to be unfair. They played a good Philadelphia team last night, and they beat them. My issue with Dallas has simply been, I think they're, as they usually are, they're a paper tiger. And I'll answer your question. But again, when I look at their year this year, they've beaten one team that is currently above 500, and that is the Eagles. Again, I don't want to be unfair to Dallas and move the goalposts. I think it's fair to note, and this, by the way, counts for the Niners win last week as well. I am really big on the whole don't sleep on the Eagles thing. When you play those 7 games in a row, I think they have the Commanders as the second one in this gauntlet. So really 6 out of 7. Jason, you're talking about the toughest stretch of schedule that any team will see this entire season. Just to recap, they played the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Niners, and the Cowboys, all in the space of 7 games.
How about Dallas's finish? If they win out, what will you think of Dallas then? It's not like it's as difficult as that, but obviously they just played the Eagles and beat them convincingly.
Yeah.
What else do they have left?
So if Dallas wins out,
you'll think differently.
I will 100%. Well, I will 80% think differently, and I'll explain. They go to Buffalo and face the Bills. They go to Miami and face the Dolphins.
Okay.
They host the Lions, and then always a tough divisional game against the Commanders.
There you go.
If they win out, I'm going to be incredibly impressed. That would put them at, what are they, 14-3.
And undefeated at home.
Undefeated at home. But
with losses to what? The Eagles, the Niners, and then the weird one to the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, yeah. But what I will be looking for, and I think Dallas fan listening right now, taking away the hate as a Niner fan and just as an NFL fan, what I'll be looking for in Dallas is what's going to get them in the playoffs. Are we looking at another year where they put up some wonderful numbers and Dak's back and here we go? And then what stupid ass thing are they going to do in the playoffs? Who are they going to run into in the first round, second round, and go back to the draw? That's what I'll be expecting.
You know, it's interesting. I said this last week, and it just was something that dawned on me as I was saying it, because I know the exact label of Dallas. When are you going to win like the most meaningful playoff games? Honest question. What's different between them and the 49ers?
A multitude of NFC championship games over the last 10 years. Two Super Bowl appearances. The 49ers have done damage in the playoffs. Now, if we're in ring culture, there is no difference.
Which we are, right?
We are. And from a pure ring culture point of view, that take is correct. You and I, however, are not ring culture people.
No, I mean, but I think you're that team until you're not that team, right? And so does it just take, well, then they broke through this year and Dallas got to the Super Bowl. Then, but they have to do it. And if the Niners come up short, like this is a Super Bowl championship team.
Yes.
And at what point then are we saying, I'm not saying we have to say this about the Niners, but it feels like we're kind of labeling teams kind of the way we want to label them.
I think I think the difference here too, maybe I'm wrong. I think if Dallas made the Super Bowl this year and lost, I think their fan base is excited and feel like they got some of the monkey off their back. I think if the Niners make the Super Bowl and they lose, it's an utter disaster. It's a failure. It's a failure. And it's just different levels. Now the Niners have remember, this is the 5-0 in the Super Bowl Niners up until they played the Ravens. They've lost their last 2 Super Bowls and they've come up so close.
Yeah.
The Niners had that I think deserved reputation of can't win the biggest of the big, but they've done damage in the playoffs.
Yes.
Dallas just has to do something in the playoffs, anything in the playoffs. They haven't done anything in the playoffs at all. And I'll tell you, if they end up winning out, Jason, they got 4 games left. Give me a 3-1 from this team, and I'll be mighty impressed. But still looking. In the meantime, the lesson here is don't sleep on the Eagles. The Eagles were smoking and burning a little bit coming into this game. I think they're going to get right here over the next 4 weeks, and we'll see when it matters in the playoffs. I'll tell you what, I will absolutely take the Eagles in a rematch with the Cowboys in the playoffs, barring injuries on either side. Yesterday, credit to Dallas, but I ain't forgetting about the Eagles. We'll take a break when we come back. 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. Chris Watkins was in Vegas. We have a very specific question about that made me laugh when I read it. Shohei Ohtani signs with the Dodgers, and the Kings play the Nets. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? We'll get to all that next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Ooma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
The holiday season is right around the corner. So give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. Give them a Steel. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Steel Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the GTA 26 battery-powered garden pruner. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com/gift guide. Real Steel. Find yours. Now $149.99 was $179.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
We're going to wrap up the NBA Cup next. Look at the NFL weekend besides the Niners. And then Frankie will join us, our Sactown Sports Kings insider, at 8 o'clock. We need to talk about Patrick Mahomes, too. I don't know where I come down on that. We'll have to talk it through, Jason. In the meantime, Christopher Laud, 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wings. Question 1.
Our own Chris Watkins, a Vikings fan, went to Las Vegas to watch his Vikings play the Las Vegas Raiders. He saw his team win 3-0 with the field goal coming in the final 2 minutes. Would you call that a good time?
I laugh because, of course, that happens with Chris Watkins.
Isn't he the one that doesn't like no-hitters?
Yes. And this is like, at least a no-hitter is like something where you're like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This was not like 2 defenses going at it, throwing perfect games.
Yeah. But at this point, are you rooting for 0-0 at least to get to
Yes,
overtime?
yes.
0-0, then get the field goal in overtime.
Or like a safety.
Yeah.
How great would that be? You were there for 2-0. At least you could say that. I don't think Chris is going to come in here today being like, dude, I saw something that hasn't happened in years.
He's not coming in at all.
Oh, well, then there you go. I would just say this, and they don't need me to say it. They don't need to hear it, but it needs to be just acknowledged. Man, the Raiders are terrible.
I thought they had their coach. I thought this was the guy.
He might be, chef and menu. I don't know. God, they're just perpetually so bad. They should have given a refund yesterday. Those were not two NFL teams. 3-0, you lose. It's one thing to win 3-0 at home. You lose 3-0. It's one thing to lose 3-0 at home against a really oh man, we played the Niners or the Chiefs or the whoever. It was so close. No, you lost to the Vikings, who are playing like Fred Smith, the backup at quarterback. They're missing half their team. And I don't know if you've seen the video going around, but there's an entire section of Allegiant Stadium doing the Vikings chant, all dressed in purple, like they've
led by Chris Watkins.
Probably.
I don't know. I saw the video of his angle. I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good.
No.
Where were they?
No, it looked like sad.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Mark Davis took the money.
Yeah.
You got the money, dude. You got the money, and now you have this traveling circus fan base. On one hand, props to the people that are still holding on to the Raiders, but I don't understand them. And this is coming from a Kings fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, if the Kings had moved to Seattle, I would not be a Kings fan. I would not be like, dude, they left. And the whole it's the Raider Nation. They travel from city. Okay, but you're stuck with this asswing as your owner, who is a joke.
Asswing?
I don't know. Just
who's got the worst home field? Raiders or Chargers?
At least the Raiders' home field is in Vegas and it looks cool. Not that the Chargers stadium doesn't, but they're like tenants. The Chargers are still the third most popular football team in LA. I don't get how Raider fan can still be. You're committing yourself to a lifetime of inferiority, and it's not going to get better. Seriously, there's only two ways things get better for you, Raider fan. There's only two ways. Number one, Mark Davis sells the team. Number two, God forbid he dies. That's it. That's it. It's not happening. Show me something. Ask yourselves.
It could get worse.
Yes. Ask yourselves this question. What has Mark Davis done to give you any confidence that this team will get better? What has he done? Give me Mark's resume as an owner and what he has done. The draft picks that have happened.
He got rid of the coach.
Got rid of the coach again. Reggie McKenzie, Mike Mayock, John Gruden, Ziegler, and McDaniels. What has he done? And in the offseason, he's either going to bow to pressure and keep Pierce. I'm not saying he shouldn't. Or he's going to go out and get some, Art Shell type, just retread guy who believes in believes in the Raider Nation. He understands what does it mean to be a Raider? No, for real though. What does that mean now? Because back in the 70s and 80s, it meant they're going to knock your neck off and they're coming for you.
Just your neck.
Right, just your neck. What does it mean to be a Raider now? You suck. What does it mean to be a Raider? Terrible, horrible ownership, moving, relocating multiple times, and sucking. So, Raider fan, I know everything I'm saying. You're sitting there going, I don't care. Raider Nation still a nut. Okay, cool. Just enjoy your life of sucking forever, says the Sacramento Kings fan.
So you think Chris had a good time?
Yeah, I made that all about me. I think Chris hated it.
Yeah, he went with family. So they had a good time in Vegas. I hope the whole thing was great in Vegas, and then they went to the game.
Maybe he had fun because his Vikings got a road win.
Yeah, they won.
Maybe that's what matters, and it was great to see them take over the stadium. And the real fun they made was the friends along the way.
Yes.
Okay, cut number 2.
Question 2.
That's it.
Shohei Ohtani got 10 years and $700 million from the Dodgers. Will it be worth it?
Yeah, it will. You gotta be honest. Yeah, it will. And what I mean by that is, they're gonna make up a good portion of that money in just simple Ohtani advertising. We talked about it, whether it's the Ichiro effect the Mariners had, or the Yao Ming effect the Rockets still enjoy. Not only is Ohtani going to bring a ton of market from a baseball crazed country, but even after Ohtani's gone, there's going to be a bunch of Japanese kids that grew up rooting for Ohtani and the Dodgers that will continue to do so. Just simply off of that, TV rights, and then on top of that, so much of it's deferred.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to nerd out here, but there are a lot of different options the Dodgers can do, including, $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. That's just basics of it. It's worth more. There are so many things they can do with the money they're deferring to Ohtani to gain interest, invest this, that. There's a lot of things they can do with that money that by the time they pay it off is going to make this thing a lot cheaper than it looks on paper. Yeah, it's going to pay off and then some, regardless really of what he does on the field.
Yeah, and then part of that part is what? They want another talented player to have already talented roster. His goal was to be a postseason guy. Likely they're in already. And, oh, by the way, he can still pitch when he's recovered. So I just think over time, yeah, it's going to be worth it. And this, baseball seemingly is not dying though, right, Dave? Look at all these decade-long signing contracts for hundreds of millions of dollars. Crazy.
Before we move to number 3, De'Aaron Fox's mom is literally correcting us on the date on the YouTube, Chris. And first off, greetings to Mrs. Fox, who's is often lurking, and will participate from time to time. And we're always so happy
De'Aaron
to
right there.
have her. Yeah, and see if she's watching on YouTube. Well, she is, because she pointed it out. There's De'Aaron right there. So thank you, Miss Fox, for pointing that out. But yes, we were a couple of days off. It's a rough morning for all of us.
Oh.
YouTube's been a little bit rough.
Okay.
It's not Chris's fault.
Yeah.
Some of it is.
Some of it's actually Chris's fault. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Kings play the Nets tonight at home. What's the first thing that comes to mind when Nets come to town?
Am I the only one that still does this? Oh, every time the Nets come here since it happened, I think of D'Angelo Russell, and I think of that comeback, and I think about how absolutely murderous I was during that whole thing. It is like the ultimate PTSD.
Okay.
It's always what I think.
Can I try to switch your mind set on that?
Yes.
Let me take you back to November 15th, 2022. Just a year ago.
Okay.
Kings are their lone TNT game. Nets come into the building. The Nets scored 121 on the Kings.
No, they did.
But the Kings scored 153 to go to 7-6. I was looking over the box score this morning. Give you some numbers from that faithful night on TNT where they just exploded onto the scene. Let's see.
That really was their explosion game.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Put them over 500. They started 0-4. Now they're 7-6 after this win. Kevin Huerter had 19. Sabonis, 17. Fox, 14. Harrison Barnes, 16. Keegan Murray, 4. Who's scoring all their points?
Who scored all their
points?
points?
Oh, Terrence Davis, 31 points. 7 of 10 from 3 off the bench. Trey Lyles, 12. Malik Monk, 5. Davion Mitchell, 8. Chemezi Metu, 2. KZ Okpala, 6. 5 for Rashawn Holmes, 4 for Alex Len. Only King who played who did not score was Matthew Dellavedova. But they made how many threes did they make that day? 23s, 39 assists, scored 153. That's the game I think about when the Nets come to town.
That's a respectable job.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something as we go to break here? And it's kind of weird. Like, how has this not been brought up? Why is Terrence Davis not in the NBA?
At all.
Like, at all.
Right.
And why is he not on the Kings? Why have they not just called him and said, okay, we'll pay you, I don't know, $1 million a year or whatever the vet minimum is. It's obviously. Terrence Davis isn't good enough to get on a dude. Marvin Bagley's in the NBA. You're telling me Terrence Davis can't get on a stinking team?
Yeah.
And it's almost like, and I don't want to look, I don't want to
hold your hand.
No, I'm just being transparent. You may remember that Terrence Davis was arrested 3 years ago for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. The charges were dropped. It's important to say that. But it honestly makes me wonder, how the heck did something happen that we don't know about? And I hate speculating like that because I was really pissed when everybody was crapping on his name before without knowing the facts. I'm not insinuating anything other than Terrence Davis is way too good to not be in the NBA. So why is he not in the NBA? Does somebody have his number? Can we call him? I'd love
home or sell.
I'd love to sell if you would. I'd love to ask him why. And I think this town would be absolutely gaga if he came back.
You think they'd be gaga?
Well, I think he would get a rousing ovation. Yeah. And by the way, not for nothing, I hope Harry Giles gets in the game tonight. I would like to hear that ovation for him too. We're not gonna. He's not doing. It's not going to be DeMarcus Cousins returns from whatever, but he's going to get a pretty nice ovation, I think, Harry, when he comes in. There's going to be a lot of smiles regardless if he comes in, which is fantastic. Unlike the frowns that you see in your backyard, if your puppy is not eating the right dog food. Hey, good morning. Carmichael Dave here. And I want to let you know this. It's 7:28 in the morning and 52 seconds that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health. Yeah, it's a fact. And that's why we're here to talk about Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food. Bark, bark. Family owned and operated since 1972. The fastest growing premium doggy food in the whole country. That's 50 years of family owned and operated. They're the only major privately owned dog food company in the whole U.S., which means the shareholders, those are the puppy dogs. That's what matters. Why do I say puppy dog and I'm in my 40s? I don't know. Organic seaweed for easy digestion, high protein, powerful antioxidants, and superfoods that help support healthy digestion and intestinal health. And listen, this is some box you have to order and subscribe to. You can get this right next to you. Safeway, Save Mart, Smart and Final, Winco. Learn more at SupremeSourcePet.com. Supreme Source. Super premium dog food. Do more for your puppy's belly than rub it. We'll take a break. When we come back, the NBA Cup wraps up. We'll have one more look at that and more. One with Indiana, the Lakers. We'll do all that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Frosty start for some, a little bit of patchy fog this morning, but otherwise we'll see partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies through the afternoon. Expect highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057-618.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Seconds remaining. That's all, and then the celebration will officially begin. The Los Angeles Lakers win the first NBA Cup. They are champions of the inaugural in-season tournament. A brilliant performance from Anthony Davis, more spectacular play from LeBron James, and a Laker defense that put on a clinic tonight.
So if you add the NBA Cup and the bubble championship they won, does that equal like one full title?
Nah, they all count.
They all count?
Yeah.
Well, Rookie of the Year, All-Star Game MVP, regular season MVP, multiple NBA championships, NBA Cup. Not even Michael Jordan was able to do all of that. Does this settle the debate?
No.
Michael Jordan never won an NBA Cup.
He never played in one.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar never won an NBA Cup.
Yeah. Give him a chance.
How insane would it have been to see Michael Jordan in an NBA Cup? How like crazy he would try and win it.
Michael Jordan probably would have won like 8 straight NBA Cups.
He wouldn't have won one.
He would have won at least 2 NBA Cups. A little disappointed in the, I don't know. I just felt they could have done the post game better, the presentations.
Oh, really?
I want the cash.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I want the cash.
Hey, kids, get off the court.
Yeah.
Right, like,
that was kind of funny. Who was it? Silver's like, hey, kids, we're trying to get to some medal or awards here or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They'd already given the medals and some of those kids wanted some autographs. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, come on, Adam.
Yeah. But medals were good.
Medals were good.
Trophies were good.
I think they at least have the like golf like cardboard cutout checks. Like something. Like, come on. As D'Angelo Russell said, that's enough to pay for 2 of his summer vacations.
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, they should have had a huge slot machine. You pull the thing, it goes do, Lakers. Then a bunch of fake coins come out.
What sound would it make when you pull the slot though? The thing.
Yeah, Chris.
Would it go? Wow.
Oh,
he mixed it up.
Then
Yeah,
it was just
going
worth
with
it. Yeah. No, there's a lot more to it because this is the cup.
It is the cup.
Yeah.
It was successful.
Like, how do I not have a job as doing this? Like, I'm not going to be the one that builds it, but I need to be the idea guy that says, here's what you need to do.
I don't know. Well, you should be, honestly, you should go work for Pixar and make sound effects for the animation. Like, how are you not doing that? How is he not on Shrek 4?
This was successful.
It was.
Right? I think overall, if the goal was to make these games mean more, it seemed like it did. The players acted like it did. They were motivated. I think now the adjustment has to be, I think everybody's reference was they wanted to be the first.
Yes.
Well, that's happened now.
Yes.
So is next year's in-season tournament as good, as exciting? I would think it can be. Part of me wonders if it should be longer. Like that would maybe be a tweak I like as far as, okay, let's say the group, what the Kings just went through, they played the Warriors and Thunder here, and then at the Spurs and the Timberwolves. So now if they played like, okay, this is round 1 in November, early December, and then round 2 maybe is in January, and with the championship being in January. Like,
yeah,
because now it's done, and the Kings are we're at 19 games when the 20th game ended the in-season tournament cup technically.
Yeah, and you're not competing with football anymore.
Yeah, so there's 3/4 of the season still left.
Yeah.
And again, all the games are important. You're trying to still have the biggest draw as the winning the most amount of regular season games, but We're done with that.
I do agree with you that the luster of being the first and the curiosity of it being the first will be gone. But I think, because let's be honest, the NBA is good at this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the adjustments and changes they're going to make, I don't know what they'll be.
Yeah.
There will be. I think there'll be enough to kind of add into it. Like maybe they will add in more incentive. Maybe they'll add in, like I said, I don't know, some way of really making fans care more and more.
Well, the competition was number one. I think people didn't appreciate what these athletes would do to compete.
Yes.
And the money was a driver. It was a motivator. People were like, they make so much. What's $500,000? They cared about it.
Well, and the thing is somebody's going to look at, and I saw a numbers thing out there that showed, like, I think the $500,000 amounted to was like 1.2% extra for LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing. Same with Anthony Davis. But here's the thing. Number one, you're going to be a natural competitor. Number two, you're going to want that for the younger guys or the guys that aren't making that money. So you can't walk around acting like it means nothing to you, because those guys are going to say, hey, guy, that's 3 summer vacations.
And the coaches getting a good I mean, like, that's a good payday for everybody in the whole staff, whole organization.
Do we know, did we ever figure out like what the coaches get for winning?
I did hear
the head coach gets $500,000.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
I remember the assistants get 75% of what the head coach gets.
Oh, okay. Well,
so some of those coaches, I mean, this was a massive windfall for them.
Wow. That's some pretty darn good money.
Yeah.
So okay. So I think they need to do better with the tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do better with, positioning and what you need to do. I mean, it was like doing algebra.
Yeah.
At times. And I thought not just that, I thought, like, for example, the Boston Indiana game was just fantastic. Mm-hmm. That might have been my favorite game of the whole deal. And look at what Indiana did. Indiana went through Boston. Indiana went through the Bucks. And
Philly was in their pool play.
You're right. And it was good to see. I very much enjoyed watching the Pacers, who kind of, they're like the Kings were last year's NBA darlings.
Mm-hmm.
The Pacers are this year's NBA darlings. It was very interesting and fun to watch the national media and a lot of fans really descend on the Pacers, and they acquitted themselves very, very well.
Yeah, and I know, like, even afterwards, hearing cuts from Tyrese Halliburton saying, look, games like this, moments like this make me want to get to bigger moments like this. So he got a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be a showcase game, to have all of the NBA watching you, and have some meaning on it. And you could tell the Lakers wanted to win. I thought that was as good of a version of the Lakers as I've seen. And in what stood out to me most about actually the championship game is, in a day and age where, the Kings will probably shoot 45 threes or more tonight.
Yeah.
The Lakers made their first 3 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They had a paint party. They just dominated the game in the paint, and you could still win that way.
Sure.
You could still win that way.
Well, and it kind of speaks to the success of the tournament in the sense that the Lakers largely beat the Pacers, I think in part because they understand how to play a playoff brand of basketball. You're slowing it down. You're working inside. You're playing possession. You are going with those killer matchups that you want. It's much more X and O in the playoffs as opposed to your regular season game. And I think that's why the Lakers really didn't need to hit from outside and still were able to handle an Indiana team that took 41 3-point attempts and made just 10. That was the other thing, including Tyrese Halliburton, who made 2 of 8. Also had a team high 3 turnovers. Did he shrink from the spotlight? And is that his Achilles heel? Is Tyrese Halliburton not cut out for the postseason?
He had more than that.
What? He had more than what?
2 of 8. Oh, from 3.
Yeah. No, from 3. Yeah, 2 of 8 from 3, 8 of 14 from the field, but that doesn't fit my narrative. We'll take a break. When we come back, the NFL week in general, including an AFC West team getting a lot weaker than they already were, almost certainly. And let's talk about this Chiefs-Bills kerfuffle. In the meantime, I want to talk to you about my friends at American Energy and what is going on there for the holidays. Now, you know I love these folks over there. Anybody that's locally owned and operated is going to get a thumbs up in my book. But right now, American Energy is giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. That's pretty awesome. They did this last year as well. If you or you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the AEWay.com. That's AE as in American Energy. Way, WAY.com. Right now, you could win a free whole home HVAC system. It's that simple. American Energy Heating and Air, always making the uncomfortable comfortable. For official contest rules, go to the AEWay.com. Now remember, that's a free whole home HVAC system. Did Patrick Mahomes overreact to the referee's screw up? We'll talk about it next.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, so lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information. Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
This is the lunch rush at your local deli. Orders are flying in. Online, on the phone, and in person.
Order for Nick.
So is it possible that fast internet could help your business outrun the rush? It is with Comcast Business. Up-leveling your speed with gig speed Wi-Fi, powering all your devices, and fast downloads and uploads, powered by the next generation 10G network. With Comcast Business, next level speed isn't just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Call or go online to learn more. Ends 12/20/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and compatible router.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Mahomes crying to Josh Allen, who just wanted a post-game handshake.
Crying.
Yeah. Josh Allen, who has had to walk off that field in far worse circumstances, shaking Patrick Mahomes' hand. But I'm gonna present to you. I'm by the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, there was a play towards the end of the game, Bills Chiefs. Let's just reset here. Bills win 20-17 at Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes completes a pass to Travis Kelce, who then lateraled across the field to Kadarius Toney, and what looked like a play they've done before.
Yeah, I literally, like, I don't know, I was at home. I went, whoa!
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That was very cool. 49-yard score would have put the Chiefs up 24-20. But apparently, Kadarius Toney lined up in the neutral zone. And that play got called back. And the Chiefs ended up losing. So that was Mahomes to Josh Allen. Okay. Here's Patrick Mahomes on that play.
I mean, not only for me, but just for football in general. I mean, just to take away greatness.
He seriously sounds like Alex Jones. Am I the only one that thinks that? Like, if I play, he sounds, there's a little Alex Jones in his voice. You're not catching that, Chris?
No.
Let me, maybe it's just me. I always think that, though.
I mean, not only for me, but just for football in general. I mean, just to take away greatness like that. I mean, for a guy like Travis to make a play like that, and who knows if we win. As I know, as fans, you want to see the guys on the field decide the game. And that's why last week I didn't say anything about the flag that didn't get called on the Marquez. And so, I mean, they're human, man. They make mistakes. But, I mean, it's every week we're talking about something, and all I can do is go out there and give everything I have. And I'm proud of the guys because that's what we did. And it was a great football game that ended – another great football game that just ended like that. It's just tough to swallow.
This wasn't a mistake, though.
Wasn't a mistake?
He was in the neutral zone.
He was in the neutral zone.
And he had 2 more chances.
To say that maybe it's not called, I've heard it, hey, maybe there's a warning like, hey, Dave, you're back up, or 81, whatever number, 13, 19, get back up a little bit. Okay, if that was, but he was off, he was in the neutral zone. It wasn't a mistake.
And as you said, a lot of times players will check with refs. It's very,
yeah, am I good?
Right. Now, what we don't know, and I imagine this didn't happen because I think we would know. Anybody hear Kadarius Toney say, I checked with the ref and I was given the thumbs up? Because I didn't.
I have not heard of that.
I'm pretty sure had Kadarius Toney checked with the refs and been given the thumbs up, we would have heard about that 100,000 times by now.
Then it's a huge mistake.
Yeah. We didn't hear that, which tells me it didn't happen. He was in the neutral zone. It's not debatable.
Right.
Now, the question here is, how many times do we not call 3 in the key?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we not call pass interference on a Hail Mary? How many times do we not call a carry in the NBA? Again, I'm switching sports back and forth here. That is one of those plays that a lot of times does not get called. But it was a foul. It was a penalty. And I'm really split on Patrick. I don't know where to come down on Patrick Mahomes. On one hand, like, he's getting killed right now. And on one hand, I'm like, look, anyone who's ever been competitive at any level of anything, like, dude, I lose a game of spades. And sometimes, like, if it's a bad way to lose, I'm like pissed for half an hour. Like, just don't even talk to me. It could be whatever. Think about something you compete in, and at not $1 million level, like some dumb home game, board game, whatever that you play. You get pissed if you're a competitor at all. And I think most of us are competitors. Now, you're talking about hundreds of millions of billions of dollars and the spotlight and so much at stake. And this is what you do for a living. And they've lost some pretty tough ways the last couple of weeks. And he's pissed probably at Kadarius Toney, let's be honest. He's mad for his teammates. He's mad for his team, his city. By the way, Patrick Mahomes gets paid the same amount of money whether they win or lose. He's a competitor, and the difference is sometimes, like we've talked about this before, let's all bring it down to our levels. let's say after the show today, as Chris is walking to his car and he's met with like 8 people, all with mics in his face. Hey, tough time on the YouTube today. Notice you had to reset. Also got the date wrong. What's going on? Like, is there a distraction? We understand you emceed the Santa parade yesterday. Is that bleeding into your, maybe they've been asking Chris about this for a while now. And Chris knows that you and I are listening and his bosses are listening and maybe his family's listening. And at some point, Chris is going to flip a little bit because he's a competitor and he wants to do a good job. And he does 99 out of 100 things great, but for some reason people focus on the one that he didn't do well. And he flips his lid a little bit. So on one hand, I want to defend Patrick Mahomes. I want a competitor. On the other hand, I look at his brother. And he's just such a douche. And I go, is that really kind of who Patrick Mahomes is? Is there a chance that Patrick Mahomes is kind of a douche too? We just don't know it.
Also, his wife is.
Yeah, Brittany, I know. And I want to, like, I feel okay talking about his brother. I don't feel okay talking about anything else.
But she does. It seems like a lot of the things she says is what she hears.
Yeah. Yes. And so the other part of me is like, well, is this kind of who Patrick Mahomes is? We just kind of been the championships and all that have covered up like the fact that he's kind of a niggle and a little bit of a baby. And just shut up because you've gotten plenty of calls go your way through the years. And at least have the class to shake Josh Allen's hand and not whine and cry about it when plenty of other quarterbacks, whether it's Josh Allen, whether it's Justin Herbert, whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, they've suffered horrible, terrible losses to you guys.
Yeah, bigger moments than this.
Far bigger moments.
Yeah.
And you want to cry and whine about it, but maybe I don't know. I thought he showed his ass a bit last night.
Yeah, I think he did. I think the team is, struggling a little bit, and here they are trying to figure out how they keep losing these close games.
Well,
yeah.
I don't feel bad for you.
I don't either.
Stupid Chiefs. I don't have a number on here. I assume we're taking 1 minute. Okay. I have Raiders and Vikings LOL on these notes.
That was an LOL.
I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it. Here's your highlights.
1:57 to go. Connell takes the snap, throws over the middle. Intercept!
Oh, wait, that's not your highlight. Sorry. I knew that on purpose, Raider fan. Here's your highlight.
Snap spot. Joseph's right-footed kick is good. The Minnesota Vikings have taken a 3-0 lead with 1:57 to go in the game.
At some point, too, later today, we talked about that game yesterday. We need to talk about Brandon Aubrey, the kicker for the Cowboys.
Yeah, what a day.
This is like, along with Brock Purdy, like the best stories in the NFL this year. This dude made a 60, 59, 50, and 45-yard field goal yesterday. And, by the way, he was a first-round draft pick in the MLS and never played football and is just a soccer cat. Like, this is one of those Disney movie things, 28 years old. And by the way, that kick from 60, that's at least good from 65.
Yeah.
Like, that was a punt. That was pretty dope. Also, we got a break. I had this, this one of Carmichael Dave's patented dumb ideas. Is there any virtue to the idea? Because after he made that super long field goal, then he kicked off and it went through the uprights again. And I always love it when kickers go through the uprights. So, like, here's my thing. What if we made a new rule where, like, on kickoffs, if you go through the uprights, the other team starts at the 15 or 10. And if you miss the uprights, they start at the 25 or 30. I mean, just depending on what you want to pick. But, like, can we add that to the thing?
If you hit one of the posts, it's the 10-yard line.
I mean, right. Like something.
And if you double doink, it's the 5.
Then it's the 5.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool to add like some extra since kickoff returns are pretty much a thing of the past, damn near, unless you're Baltimore in overtime. Like, can we add something to the kickers?
So would your return man, if there's one that's going to be really close to the crossbar, be back in the back of the end zone and swat it?
I say you can 100% do that.
Yeah.
You can literally get up on the crossbar and jump off if you want. Yeah. Like, screw it. Yeah, don't care. But I think that'd be kind of fun. Like, this guy's really good at making these, what would it be? You kick off from the 30, 40.
No, like 30 or 35.
Okay,
right?
let's
30,
say it's
maybe?
the 30. So wouldn't that be a 87-yard field goal?
80.
80?
Yeah.
That was 17 yards.
Well, but if you're literally kicking off from the 30, you're not backing.
Oh,
up.
duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. All right, we'll take a break.
This is a lot better than 9th and 3.
Yeah.
It took me a second. Yeah, 9th and 3. 9th and 3 had a fun.
9th and goal.
9th and goal had a fun few seconds. Then
Did it? In your head?
Not for me. When we come back, let's talk to Frankie. Let's run that by him. He likes football.
What, 8th and goal, 9th and goal?
Yeah, let's run through all that through him. We'll talk Sacramento Kings, both their season to date, and also tonight's game. We'll do it next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because you know, mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Ingersoll Rand, and Metaltech in-store or at northerntool.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Frosty start for some, a little bit of patchy fog this morning, but otherwise we'll see partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies through the afternoon. Expect highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winter's coming, so let's kick off the cold season right and get your heater all tuned up. Now just $79. No matter how cold it gets outside, you'll always be warm and toasty inside. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Good. How you guys doing?
Great.
Great. Wonderful. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was nice.
No Kings games.
No Kings games. Just some in-season tournament action, which I heard you guys, sharing your thoughts on it. And was enjoyable for the beginning, and then game kind of got a little ugly. But yeah, it was a nice little relaxing weekend.
Hold on. What did you say, Chris?
Your arm is in the shot.
This arm?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. But I can leave my computer. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Chris is direct. Apparently, my arm.
You're blocking Frankie.
My arm was in the way.
Yeah.
So the NBA Cup in general, your thoughts were overall success then?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think we take everything into account. How trying new things this day and age in sports, it's always going to be polarizing. But this was an idea. I think that it comes from other sports, and it's successful, obviously, with what goes on in soccer. And I know that Verlad can attest to that, how exciting that is. But I think it's something that with the NBA, it's going to look a lot different in a couple of years. And this was the first run through. And I think pushing it a little later in the season might make it a little better, or spacing out the games. They're all, it was kind of all a little condensed. I mean, getting it done in the first week, or I guess now the second week of December. So I think all things considered, it was a success in my opinion.
Yeah. And now there's still such a long part of the season left, 3/4 of the season for most teams. Kings did play, though, to round out their week of schedule against Phoenix. A little bit of a lopsided game early. Not lopsided, but just up and down for the Kings. And then that third quarter was great. And Fox, how about Frankie Fox in the fourth quarter was just maybe the best version we've seen of him. He was incredible.
It's incredible. I mean, you're seeing him do it so many times, and you can kind of tell when he's going to get on a roll, because when the Kings need some buckets, they just go to him. And once he gets like two in a row, you kind of think it's going to keep on going. And in this case, it did. Career high 23 points in the fourth quarter. You would like the Kings not to get to that point. I think a lot of people were kind of, when you're taking off like the purple colored glasses, that the Kings had a pretty horrible start, and against a team that was very shorthanded. And that's a trend we've seen over the past couple of years, really. The Kings facing these teams that are missing multiple guys, and they still fall behind. And while this wasn't quite the case, the Kings weren't really ever trailing by, an excessive amount or anything. You'd like them to be in control a little earlier and not have to use a De'Aaron Fox heroic closing effort to put a game away. But, that aside, the Kings in the second half, they shoot 50% from three, which that's a question that I always kind of like look at when the Kings are struggling from three. Are they going to switch things up and maybe try to attack the paint more? Because I know that the paint touches haven't really been there when the Kings have been struggling from three. They try to shoot through it. And on Friday night, they actually did 8 of 16 in the second half. That's going to get you there. But I think all things considered, a good win from a team that is playing overall good basketball this season. I know there's a lot of talk about maybe, the losses have been disappointing, especially with the in-season tournament. But when you look at where the Kings are this year versus last year, it's similar or even a little bit better.
Frankie Cardicelli, our Sactown Sports Kings insider, joins us. I want to run this by both of you. Frankie, you first. This is a take I heard about a month ago, and I've pocketed it until, as you will see, an appropriate time, kind of like now, after a big De'Aaron Fox fourth quarter. So this is somebody that is in the NBA that knows De'Aaron better than any of us, and who is, this is the wrong word to use, but annoyed at him and the way he's been playing. Annoyed in the sense that a huge De'Aaron backer, and this person's take was, and it really made me think, there's a problem with the way De'Aaron plays if he wants to be who he can be, and he's scratching the surface, that too many times De'Aaron Fox takes half the game off, where he just isn't as intense as he is late in the game. And it's not in a Dame Lillard, Dame time type of way, although De'Aaron's super clutch. he doesn't have the same aggressiveness and intensity in the first and second quarters as a general rule as he does in the third and the fourth, that he generally picks up steam. And then when the fourth quarter comes around, he goes, he eats the Mario star and goes crazy. And this person's contention is that if and when De'Aaron Fox realizes whether it's, I don't know if it's cardio, I don't know if it's just mental, I'm sure there's reasons and I'm not smart enough to know what they are. But if De'Aaron were to play 4 quarters the way he plays the fourth quarter, that he's like going to legitimately win an MVP. So in a roundabout way, the monologue I just gave you was this person saying, De'Aaron Fox isn't an MVP candidate. Like, De'Aaron Fox is a future MVP of this league. It's completely up to him. He just has to bring it for 4 quarters the way he brings it in the fourth quarter. Do you see any validity to that?
I mean, I think if he were to play with that intensity he plays with in the fourth quarter, I mean, I don't think it's really realistic. I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, when the Kings are in a pinch, and obviously that comes back to the main conversation, which is why can't he do it early? Mm-hmm. I mean, he was 5 of 15 going to the fourth quarter. I mean, he was taking the shots. The shots were there. There were some good looks. I mean, he was short on a couple. I mean, I don't think it's a matter of the effort isn't there. I think it's just a matter of what makes great players great. And in De'Aaron Fox's case, it happens to be the fourth quarter. That is his time. I mean, he's proven it over the past year, even beyond last year. And I think if you were to try to, as people that want that process to unroll, like De'Aaron Fox exerting that kind of effort for 48 minutes, I mean, I don't know who has that kind of stamina. I mean, that's next level. That's, we're talking like Michael Jordan. I mean, whatever, not that De'Aaron Fox isn't great, but expecting that kind of performance for an entire game is, I mean, he scored 45 points, 50 points a night.
Would you say he's as aggressive in the first 3 quarters as, say, Domantas Sabonis?
I think so. I think specifically on Friday.
That was the example that was provided to me, by the way, was Domantas goes balls out for 4 quarters. And by the way, I got to be super clear on this. This wasn't De'Aaron's lazy. De'Aaron, yeah. This was coming from his biggest backer who thinks who believes
he can
play that way for all 4 quarters.
It makes sense. Why can't De'Aaron Fox start off the game that way to put the Kings in a position where they don't need a 20-point comeback? In that point, I would say it's a team effort. I mean, and De'Aaron was 5 of 15 through 3 quarters, and other guys were stepping up to make the game, what it was, make it not out of control. But I mean, it just kind of, unrealistic in my opinion to expect that kind of performance and opposing defenses not to adjust. I mean, that's another thing. If Fox is playing 3 quarters and he's struggling and defenses are collapsing on other guys and they're paying attention to guys that are going. I know Keegan had a fast start the other night and he obviously went cold after that, but Sabonis was making plays. And then when it became crunch time, Fox was the one that, put the nail in the coffin. So I think that I guess it makes sense from asking, but sure. It's just a part of what makes De'Aaron Fox great. He's a closer. And that's just a lot of guys that have been in the NBA over the years have been closers and they've been, call it quiet, call it passive, whatever you want. I don't look at it that way with De'Aaron Fox. I don't think he's passive or whatnot. Some days the shots fall early, some days they don't. And on Friday they didn't.
Yeah, I look at it I think that might have been more of a narrative before. I think this year De'Aaron's really picked his spots on when the team, I'm talking second quarter, 10-0 run by the opposing team, and De'Aaron's like, I got it. He might get a quick 4 points. And so his presence is felt more. And I also think the other reminder is he still is a point guard.
Yeah.
And so if Herter's going, then De'Aaron's going to not necessarily back off, but he's going to find Herter. If it's Keegan time, if it's Barnes, Sabonis, Monk, whoever else might be going, I think De'Aaron's really recognizing who's hot, when to go to them. And then if they need him, he can go to that power. All right, I can use my superpower now, and I will, and I'll kind of implore my will in this game in the fourth quarter.
And I didn't want to influence, not that I would have, but anything you guys said. I really was curious to hear the other side just completely cold, because that's kind of where I landed too, was it's kind of where I disagreed with this person who's forgotten more basketball than the 3 of us know. Trust me, I can't underline that enough, is I feel like it's a luxury in a sense to have that closer and let the rest of the team has their responsibilities as well. Not that he's just sitting back and doing nothing, but come the fourth quarter, maybe he's got that little bit in the tank saved to where he comes in when everybody else is running out of breath and he just starts like an offensive line just running all over you. I feel like I'd rather have it that way than 25%, 25, 25, and 25 through the four quarters.
Yeah, what's beautiful is even if De'Aaron's shots aren't quite falling in the fourth quarter, and if he's going to attract that kind of attention from the defense, that's going to open up opportunities for other guys, whether it's Sabonis, whether it's guys on the perimeter like Kevin Huerter and Keegan, Harrison Barnes, if he can hit some timely shots, which he did a couple of games ago. But yeah, I think that, like you said, that's what makes De'Aaron Fox great. He's Mr. Fourth Quarter, clutch player of the year.
Yeah.
And to Jason's point too, definitely, I think he's a guy that when the Kings when there's bleeding, he's the one trying to stop it.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, they're going to him to try to stop, the run. That's what you do with great players, with star players. That's what teams are in the league. The Suns go to Devin Booker when they're having a tough time. The Timberwolves go to Anthony Edwards. You need a shot maker, and De'Aaron Fox is that guy for the Kings.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break here. Can you stick with us another segment?
Yeah.
Okay, good. When we come back, let's look at the first 20 games with the Sacramento Kings, best and worst. Have they surprised? And also, let's look back at that win a little bit on Friday and tonight against the Nets. I like Jason's spin on this. I'll ask Frankie about that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm going to go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
I want to remind you, Matt Barrows is going to join us here in about 45 minutes. Jason Ross.
Yes.
People love to call the show.
Yeah, they do. When they do, you're calling us in on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. So give it a ring.
Give it a ring.
Give it a jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a jingle.
Get on the horn.
Your Sacramento Kings are 12-8. That's one game better than 11-9. Which is where they were after 20 games last year. Now, remember, there was an 0-4 start, obviously, in there, but who cares? They all, as Jason likes to say, there's 82 games in a season, and you win some, you lose some, and sometimes it rains.
That's what I say that all the time.
Yes. All the time. This team playing last year's team in a 7-game series, is there a clear-cut favorite yet? That's my weird way of saying, is this team better than last year, the same, or worse?
Through 20 games, kind of hard to tell. I think that the defensive adjustments, while they haven't been, oh my God, the Kings are a good defensive team this year, but they're better. Like whether it's significant or not, from a defensive rating standpoint. I mean, last year they're 25th out of 30th. This year, is it crazy? 20th? Progress or top 20, I guess. But I think from that end, especially, that's kind of like the leveling out you've seen. The offense has taken a small step back, but the defense has taken a small step forward, and I think for that. It's going to go 7 no matter what. If they're to play last year team, it's going 7, and then I don't know, toss up.
Keegan defensively would guard Keegan.
He would.
This year's Keegan would do a better job.
He might guard Fox at this point.
You're right. At this point,
they're putting him on the best player every night, so it might be, which would kind of be interesting if you thought about that a year ago, putting Keegan on Booker or Anthony Edwards, guys like that.
That's interesting because I, and again, maybe I'm wrong here. I actually think they're significantly better than they are last year. I mean, significantly.
At this point.
I think they are a significantly better team right now than they were last year, especially at this point. And I think again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. You mentioned what Mike Brown has been working on defensively. I think the whole beginning part of this year, it comes off as the coaches are willing to take some early struggles in order to, okay, we made the playoffs. We got the monkey off of our back. We now want to do some damage in the playoffs. We're not going to do that, Kevin Herter, if you're not crashing the boards. We're not going to do that, De'Aaron Fox, if you're not stepping up your defense. We're not going to do that, Keegan Murray, if you're not creating your own shot and becoming another defensive stopper. I think JaVale McGee is a better backup than we had last year. I've loved the minutes for the most part that he's given us. I think Davion Mitchell's taken a step back so far, but it's very early. But I think this is more of an elite style, perennial contending, no one wants to play us in the playoffs type of team than last year when it was fun and neat and sweet and you took the Warriors to 7 and all that, but ultimately a little bit of a paper tiger in the sense that their defense was always going to seal into them.
Yeah, and I also feel too, Frankie, that this last year was everything about breaking the curse or the drought.
Yeah.
Now
it was a curse, honestly.
Yeah, that too. Now it's kind of a fact-finding mission of what we're trying to improve on, like the points that Dave made, what you're trying to see improvement on internally. And then what can they tweak? And that tweak could be a significant trade, could be something else that they do internally or roster positions. But I feel like they're positioning themselves to try to be near the top of the West.
Yeah, and I think like the familiarity is big too, as far as coming into this year, having guys like last year, for sure, the 0-4 start. Maybe that's because they didn't know each other very well. But I mean, this year, these guys have been together for over a year plus now. So
plus more injuries this year.
More injuries, that's been tough too. But yeah, I think you're right, Jason, as far as I think that we can all say this team is good. I think if this team's fully healthy, they're going to be good. They're going to be in the mix. But it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of weeks and I guess month and a half plus unfold, because is this group good enough to get this team to where we all hope they can be, which is past the first round of the playoffs and maybe even further? Is this group going to have enough in the tank, or is it going to be a matter of Monty McNair, who said last year he's going to be very, very, I can't remember what the actual word was. It was, protective. The word he kept using was, I'm going to be protective over this group. Well, I think that they still are. They're very protective over this first inaugural, the first beam team, this group with which Monty McNair brought in and had that big offseason, bringing in Kevin Herter, bringing in Malik Monk. He's kind of hit, green on every one of these picks. It's been successful. So is it enough to get you to the ultimate goal? That's the question. And I think that we'll get an answer to that in the next month or so, because if the Kings are hovering around maybe the 8, 9, 10 spot in the West, does that mean it's time to make that big move, or do you wait until the offseason and reassess? But I think that this team, we know for sure, is a good team pending health. And that's kind of, I think, what we all are hoping to see is this team going to be, is it going to be like a letdown, like a sophomore slump? It was so good last year. They're the darling of the NBA, which we're kind of seeing with Indiana now. And what's it going to be like when the Kings are just another good team? And so far the results have been positive. Like they're 12-8, like we talked about. They're in the top 6 in the West and have 7 of their next 8 at home. So this is a very important stretch, I think.
Could their loyalties and or allegiances to Harrison Barnes end up being a weak spot? Only in the sense that, look, the 3 and the 2 are the weak spots in the starting lineup, and they vary from time to time. But there is a thought, and I share this thought, that we all would, I say it all the time, we would all go to church on Sunday if Harrison Barnes was a religion. You can't say enough about the human being, but I also don't want to disrespect him by being like, oh, he's a great guy. Therefore, let's look away. I want to criticize him like I would somebody who wasn't a good guy. And it seems that Harrison Barnes, we know this, does a lot of things that don't show up in the box score, taking the tough defensive assignments, the leadership, all that. But when you talk about the leadership, I feel like that was so incredibly important last year. You had to have that guy. But is there a thought that the Kings have kind of outgrown that? They don't need that on-floor older brother anymore, that these are championship level MVP caliber type players, and they have 2 of them, that's what they need to upgrade?
Yeah, I think that it's a good question. I think that when you look at who is the leader of this team or who is that presence now, I think it's De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox has been outspoken enough, and someone on the court especially. He wants to be a leader, and he is a leader. And does that mean Harrison Barnes is, professionalism and what he brings in the locker room and on the floor isn't needed? No, I think that it's purely a basketball thing. It's a basketball thing as far as the Kings are finishing games with Trey Lyles on the floor more times than not over Harrison Barnes. They're finishing games with Malik Monk on the floor. It's where does he fit in this offense? Where does he fit? Is it in a bench role? Is it in a trade being shipped somewhere else? Possibly. I think that it looks, to me, it's a matter of what's most important. And I know that people they groan at the who's starting games, who finishes, but it's a question of at what point do you just start the game with either Trey Lyles, Sasha Vezenkov, I think, who's been playing very well, because we've seen the Kings, they do fall down early, and it's not all Harrison Barnes' fault, obviously. But when you look at what's working and what's not, I think it's almost time to make that just kind of, okay, let's try it for a game. Let's see if Trey Lyles or Sasha Vezenkov can be a positive and get the offense going the right way, because sometimes the shots aren't falling for Harrison Barnes. He's a fifth option. He's not getting the volume of shots he's gotten over his whole career. This is a very new thing for Harrison Barnes to be a fifth option. It's even back to his Golden State days. I think it's even more like significant than that. I think that he's that much out of the offensive picture that maybe it wouldn't hurt putting in guys that have been playing a little better on the defensive end. So
which one would you put in if it was between those two?
I think Trey Lyles, just because of he's been doing it for, I think it's been 8-9 years now. And then the fact that he does bring that toughness, and I think I think Brendan wrote an article about how he's been the enforcer of this group, and had some good quotes in there from Lyles himself, who said that he will take on that role if it's necessary, because that's always seems to be him in those spots, getting into it with other players. But there's a lot of leaders on this team. I don't think that means that Harrison Barnes needs to be subtracted from that, but he is that big contract and that big piece that if there's going to be a trade, he has to be in it. If you're bringing in a big contract, it's just the way that it is, unless you're going to group Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, and which I don't think the Kings are going to do that. So I don't think Mike Brown is going to make a move in the lineup. He just is very, very stubborn with lineup changes and whatnot. I think like with Davion Mitchell and Keon Ellis, it's more of those are the kind of moves that he makes, the backup players. But Harrison Barnes is one of Mike Brown's guys, and I expect as long as he's here, he probably will not be moved out of the starting lineup. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, a couple things I wonder about Barnes. Like if they did move him to the bench, I don't feel like you're going to get a lot from him. I don't feel like Harrison Barnes is a spark player. That's me. But the other part too, I think what you just said, Frankie, is kind of what Mike Brown's doing. Like the Friday night's game against Phoenix, Huerter had 1 point. He just stopped playing him. I mean, and Herter's going to start tonight and may have 25. But I feel like it's Fox and Sabonis. Most likely Murray's getting minutes. And then between Barnes and Huerter, if one of them's going, he's leaving them. If not, then all right, there's more choices. And I don't think it's end up hurting the team, but I think every time they lose in a night where Huerter has 1 or Barnes has 0 or 4, it's like that's the position that needs to be upgraded. Sure, it can be, but I feel like that's the easy point the finger at every night.
My issue is that Harrison Barnes averaged 34 minutes in October, 31 minutes last month, and 33 minutes this month. Take away the 33-point game, which I know isn't fair, but take away the 33-point game. He averaged 9 points that month. He averaged 11 points last month. He's averaging 8 points this month. I don't want to make this a Harrison Barnes hate fest because I don't feel that way. But look, Mike Brown said himself, we don't drop any plays for him.
Right.
He just kind of gets in where he fits in. It almost feels like
like a fifth starter, those 11 points. That's fine.
I don't necessarily have an issue with that, except I just don't know what is Harrison Barnes elite at.
What would Trey Lyles be elite at?
I think
What would Sasha Vezenkov be elite at?
I think Sasha Vezenkov would bring elite outside shooting. Potentially.
Exactly.
It's true.
I think his ceiling shooting outside.
And do you have to be elite to be what's
you don't have to.
What's Keegan Murray elite at?
Outside shooting, 3-pointers.
Not this year.
In the outside shot. No. I mean, but he's also, in his second year. Harrison Barnes is a time-tested veteran who and it was this way in Golden State. He's just there.
Well, you bring up the Golden State aspect of it, and Harrison Barnes this year, he's taking 8.5 shots a game. The last time he shot that many or that few shots was 2014-15, 8 per game. We're looking at Golden State was the only time in his career he was a single-digit field goal attempts per game. Then he goes off to Dallas. He doubles that 16, 15. Even Sacramento the first couple of years.
Yeah,
he's at 11 a game.
But that Golden State team was the best team he was on, probably.
Right? Oh, for sure. Yeah. But it's kind of similar because the Kings, the whole jokes about, the Kings are always trying to be Golden State and whatnot. And he's kind of back into that role again. He's kind of back being just that guy who you hope he can be physical and make the other wings uncomfortable. And is he a lockdown defender? No, he's not. He did an admirable job on Zion Williamson there tonight. I think that does deserve a little more credit.
I agree.
But I know that people want more, and that's not enough. And you can't play 35 minutes and provide some of the stat lines or production that he's provided. You can't do that over 35, 36 minutes. I completely agree, because that was even back to Golden State. He was not playing that many minutes. So it's just what he is right now. He's a fifth option. That's what Mike even says. Like, he's a fifth option. We don't run plays for him. Like, it's not. He has to do his job, and that is, I think, be a good 3-point shooter. He's around 37% from 3 this year. That's not bad at all. He's got to be maybe not a clear positive on defense, but he's got to be more than he's got to break more than even.
Yeah.
And if he's not doing that means he's not doing his job. If he's not playing defense at a acceptable level, if he's not knocking down threes, and there's a question of what is he providing. But those are his two things I'm looking for.
And where I get really unfair is this: like, has he I'm sure he has. But why do I feel like the last time he did anything clutch was against Cleveland during COVID? Like, I don't remember. I feel like Harrison Barnes always misses the shot. Well, and I'm not just talking about the Warriors series, but if you look for it, maybe it's biased because I'm looking for it. It's like they're on a run, or they needed and the three from the corner clank. I don't know. I'm being unfair.
He had the buzzer beater against Phoenix as well, which was after Cleveland.
That's true. Babe.
What I would say there is he's due. That means he's due at some point.
He is due.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Frankie, thank you. What's coming up this week? A lot of games coming up. What's coming up for you?
A lot of games. Keep an eye out for all those games. Any breaking baseball news, I usually jump on that as well. Shohei Ohtani going to the Dodgers. Sorry about that, Giants fans. But a lot of Kings games coming up. So Brendan and I will be putting out a lot of content, a lot of video from practice, post-game, stuff like that. But game recaps, but check out the website.
And you got one of your favorites coming up, 7:30 starts, where you get to be there late and cover everything. And you always like those late starts.
Oh, yeah, I love them. I know Jason does too. We love the late starts.
4 Down Territory coming up next. Also coming up, Wing Day Wednesday.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
At American Energy, their #1 priority is making sure you and your family are comfortable in your home for the holidays. And that's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. Now, if you or you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the AEway.com today. You could win a free whole home HVAC system. American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. For official contest rules, go to the AEway.com.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Thanks, Frankie.
Frankie!
Appreciate him. Jason, do you ever watch anything on Showtime?
Nope.
Well, good, because it's going to die.
Showtime's going away?
As of January 8th, Paramount Global will rebrand the linear Showtime cable network as Paramount Plus with Showtime, the same name as the company's top-tier streaming package. You look confused. This will straighten it out.
Oh, okay.
Subscribers of the linear Showtime channel, though, will not have access to the Paramount Plus with Showtime streaming plan. Instead, Paramount Plus with Showtime cable subscribers will be able to access programming online via the authenticated streaming apps of pay TV partners, but not the full Paramount Plus with Showtime streaming service lineup.
That's clear. Now I'm going to watch it.
What bothers me, I don't care about Showtime. I'm still pissed about HBO Boxing After Dark. Like,
is that gone?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years now.
Oh, it's in the dark.
What bothers me is there are not one or two, not 10 or 12. There are literally hundreds of people that are paid more than the three of us combined times 10 per year that sit around and make these decisions and go, you know, I think this will work. I think this is the way to go. The streaming people have completely bobbled this whole thing. And at some point there already is a little bit of backlash. And at some point, somebody's going to come through with a better mousetrap and organ. Because all we're doing now is we've gone from, hey, I love streaming. I was one of the first cord cutters. Like, I cut my cord a long time ago.
You literally had to cut it. That's how long ago.
Yes, absolutely. With a chainsaw. Now, it's just basically cable that it takes longer to click to the channel. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You feel me?
Yeah,
like
dog.
Picking up what I am putting down.
As a soccer fan, if you want to watch all your games, you need to have cable.
Yes.
You need to have Peacock.
Yep.
You need to have Paramount.
Yep.
You have to have ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's 5 things right there. And what it used to be not that long ago, I got everything I wanted for like $80. Everything. And now I don't even know, dude. I'm probably getting close to my DirecTV days, which were sad, sad days. Much like yesterday was sad if you're a Seahawks fan, but it's happy if you're a Niner fan right now. 4 Down Territory, starring Chris Verlaud. Good morning, Chris. Give us first down, if you will.
Which team had the best week 14 in the NFL?
A lot of candidates here, but I'm going to give it to the Vikings. I'm going to give it to the Bills. Their playoff hopes are still alive.
Choice.
They went into Arrowhead. They won a tight contest there. There's at least one, if not 2 other amazing candidates that deserve it as well, but I'll take the Bills here.
Yeah, lots of people on this list. I'm going Dallas.
Yep, that was the other one.
Stayed perfect at home, beat their rival, put themselves in a tie with their rival, put themselves in a tie with the 49ers for wins, kind of got themselves right back in that conversation for some of the league's best. And what they've done at home here is, the stats are pretty staggering. So people wanted them to beat a good team. They smashed a good team. Like, they crushed the Eagles. So good for them. I give it to Dallas.
Second down.
Which team had the worst Week 14 in the NFL?
Again, a lot of candidates. By the way, a sleeper candidate for best week for a team would have been the New York Jets, who put Zach Wilson in, who had a very good game for him.
That was my upset of the week.
And wasn't your upset of the week? Well, you got it. They beat the Texans 30-6, who had the worst week for me. Number one, you lost a game you probably should have won, but that Jets defense is insane. Secondly, C.J. Stroud concussion. Hopefully that's it. And I say hopefully, I mean, that's terrible. And with a win, you would have been tied atop the top of your division with Jacksonville. It's not the, end-all, be-all, but Houston's trying to build something here. That's a game they should have won. They needed. They had a pretty bad week.
Just like I'm patting myself in the back for my upset of the week, I'm wrong on my lock of the week. I missed the game that was certain, and they're my team that had the worst week. Detroit.
Yeah.
They're going to beat the Bears. They'll crush the Bears. That was a bad loss in many ways. They've left the division door open. Here's the other thing they did, Dave, by losing to Chicago. If they had won, that also put them in a tie with the Niners, the Eagles, the Cowboys. They'd be a fourth team with 10 wins, and we know what the value is of getting a 1 seed. I mean, you avoid the first weekend of football. You have everything go through you, and if they miss out on it because they lost to Chicago, shame on the Lions. So they're weird. The Lions have really become kind of that team now where it's like, man, they've got some good wins. You got to look out for Detroit. Then they have some head-scratching losses. So Detroit, for me, had the worst week.
They're down.
Which individual had the best Week 14 in the NFL?
There are a lot of candidates here. There's some fun ones. I'm going to choose to go fun. Give me Joe Flacco. How about that?
Good for Joe.
38 years old, on the couch. He comes in. Oh, what does he do? He throws for 311 and 3 touchdowns. And the Browns put up 31 points and beat the Jaguars 31-27 in a big, big game. Both teams now 8-5. There's a couple of, you could go with Bailey Zappi. How about the Patriots going in and just kicking the holy you-know-what out of the Steelers to start the week in Pittsburgh? Well, they did. They won by 3, but still. But I'll give it Flacco.
Cowboys kicker, Debo, lots of candidates. I'm going to go local. Jake Browning. How about Jake? Maybe quarterbacks had better days, but look, he threw for 2, ran for 1. That was a good win against a hot Colts team, and just he's improving his own financial status going forward, whether that's as a backup in Cincinnati or a starter elsewhere. I like that. We like Jake, so good for Jake.
Or down, please.
Which individual had the worst Week 14 in the NFL?
I know it's broken record. A lot of candidates. But I'm going to go with expectations as well. Give me Trevor Lawrence. 3 picks for the Jaguars. They lose to a Joe Flacco-led Cleveland team. 28 of 50. He did have 3 touchdowns, but 3 picks as well. And Trevor Lawrence has done this a few times. He's not bad, and he's only 24, which is weird. Seems like he's been in the league a little bit longer. But I don't know, man. I feel like Trevor Lawrence isn't as good. He's like Jaguaring. And I feel like the Jaguar stink is on him a little bit. We'll see. A lot of season left.
Mine is Mr. Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers. He got hurt. I'm looking at this team, Dave. 23 points. 23 points. Wait, 23 sounds like a lot. That's the last 3 weeks.
Ooh.
10, 6, and 7 yesterday.
Woof, woof, meow.
Up and down. And to me, there's a lot of people that put him in this elite category. And at some point, you got to get to the playoffs, which they did last year, but had a colossal meltdown. And then win some meaningful games. And here they are below 500. He got hurt, lose to the Broncos again. I think Justin Herbert had a pretty rough week.
Oh, poor Justin Herbert.
I
know. What are you going to do? Is it time we have a conversation about Justin Herbert?
It's time.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot?
Who?
I don't know, Jason.
Why are you asking
I was
the question?
gone most of last week. I'm still recovering. I don't know.
Who's
Who's not?
Who?
I don't know. That's Chris's neck of the woods. Yell at him. Okay. We'll recap pick 6.
Why is he yelling?
3 in the key. We'll do a 3 in the key. And so much more as we head towards the final hour of the show. Coming up next on Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hi, I can help whoever's
Cooper's overnight shipping company has to deliver the goods.
Ship these gifts to your grandkids.
They need a logistics manager to keep the wheels turning.
126 packages going to Toronto, Tuscaloosa, Montreal, and Minneapolis. Oh boy.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Steel, and Lincoln Electric in-store or at northerntool.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who's hot?
Anthony Davis.
No, he's not.
All day. He had 41 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks in the Lakers' win of the in-season tournament.
And he's out 4 to 6. with an ear sprain.
Too much
Ear
production.
sprain.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't hate Anthony Davis. I don't like. Okay, take away the fact that he's a Laker, and take away the fact that he gets injured a lot.
Can't take either of those away.
Like, what is dislikable about him? I'm not saying I like him.
Not saying you don't.
I'm not saying I don't. And the only thing sometimes I find myself rooting for him because I was really mad that like he had the whole he's made out of paper mache thing.
Yeah.
But like nobody ever ripped Kawhi, who like actually played less games than him over that span. I don't know. But he's a Laker. It's like Shohei Ohtani. I like him. I can't root for him anymore.
Yeah. Done with him.
Done with him.
Yeah.
Hey, who's not?
Cash grab.
That's a cash grab.
Who's not?
Who's not?
Thursday night football quarterback matchups.
Oh.
Last week we had Billy Zappi versus Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch.
Now with Justin Herbert out with a fractured finger, this week's matchup is going to be the Chargers' Easton Stick against Aiden O'Connell of the Raiders.
Woo! And you're saying that's bad?
He is.
Whatever, just wait until it's Derek Carr versus Matt Stafford the following week.
That's not so bad.
Hey, seriously, you can only bet this my old thing, $250,000 briefcase. Got to bet it one way or the other. Will it be Derek Carr versus Matthew Stafford in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Think so?
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I'm betting.
I'm going to say no. One of them is going to have an ouchie. They always do. They're Anthony Davis of football, except not at all. Anthony Davis is of football.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Got it?
What's next?
Okay. How about we recap a bunch of stuff I wasn't here for?
Yeah.
Let's start with pick 6. I want to see how you guys did.
Well, since you weren't here, we got them all right.
Uh-huh. Well, as always, I get to play along.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
All right. We'll see how you do. Post the game already being played. All right. Between Chris and I, Dave, we're starting with the 49ers Seahawks game. So I asked the first 49er to score.
I would have said Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
See, I try to play it fair, by the way.
Chris said Christian McCaffrey. I said Brandon Ayuk. It was somebody named Mason. Jordan Mason.
My son.
Yes. You got the ball in the end zone the right way.
My son, who, by the way, are you a fan of this or not? This won't work for radio, but sorry. Today is their first, they're playing a preseason tournament. The coach makes them go to school, like they have to travel in a shirt and tie. So, little guy in a shirt and tie. I had to teach him how to tie a tie last night.
He looks ready to go.
It was very fun standing in the kitchen with my 15-year-old going, okay. So the little bunny, he jumps over the fence once, and then he jumps over the fence twice, and then he dives down the rabbit hole, and then you pull it all together to keep the bunny safe and warm. And he's like, Dad, come on, dude.
Why didn't he just go on YouTube like everybody does now?
He goes on YouTube way too much as it is. Don't take away my dad moment. Second down.
Good job, Bunny.
Good job, Bunny.
Second down. Yards for Brock Purdy. What would you have said?
284.
Chris said 280. I said 249. You have 368.
I still won.
49ers leading receiver in the yards that they have.
I would have said Ayuk with 88.
I said Ayuk 87. Chris said Debo 79. It was Debo 149. They both were over 100, but
Wow.
Debo was the highest with 149.
Yeah. Point goes to Chris.
Sacks for the team. Team sacks.
Honestly, I don't know how many they had. So I'm playing this legit now. I think every week I say 3. I'll say 3.
Okay, Chris said 3. I said 5. It was 4.
Hey.
How about the halftime score?
I would have said 17-7 Niners.
I said 17-0 Niners. Chris said 20-3 Niners. It was 14-10 Niners. And then random stat. What would you have said?
I would have said Jordan Mason rushes for a touchdown.
Good call. Very good call. I said San Francisco would never trail in the game. They did trail in the game. And Chris said, I don't know if we can prove this, but a Seahawks fan would throw something onto the field.
That did happen.
Did it?
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said a stupid Seahawks fan would
Good
throw
point.
something on the field.
Good point. I left out the descriptor.
Speaking of stupid Seahawk fan, they really need to chill on the whole. Like, there was a legit large amount of them that were crying about Fred Warner being dirty. So, and the fun part was they were posting the Fred Warner got up and like pushed DK into the ground off that one play. Yeah, dude, show the part before that where DK literally suplexes Fred Warner. And I understand he thought Fred Warner still had the ball, suplexes him. Fred gets up, shoves him to the ground, and then DK gets up, grabs Fred by the face mask, yanks him around, while Fred Warner, not wanting to get the flag, just holds his arms out. Now, I actually like DK Metcalf, but Fred Warner would eat him for lunch and dinner.
That's weird.
And I said this last night. Basketball's coming back to Seattle in about 3 years.
Ugh.
If Seattle fan doesn't shape up and they keep having dumbass takes like that, we're sending that team to Louisville. So get it right.
Here's the problem with Seahawks fans. They're people from Seattle that live in Seattle, so you can't fix it.
Yeah, they're just naturally like dark and dingy and sad and lame.
But think that they're better than everybody else.
I love the Pacific Northwest in the summer, but living there all year long, that's why like all that sad grungy music came out.
So here comes your Louisville Wildcats.
Louisville Wildcats, baby. Here we go. Send them to Louisville or somewhere else that's not going to have all their fans be dumb. Like Seattle fan needs this. You know what? Mariner fans, okay.
Really?
Because they don't ever do anything.
You know what? I'll agree with that.
And I've never had a problem with
together. Look at us.
Never had a problem with a Kraken fan.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a problem with a Husky fan. Name 3 Krakens.
Fans.
Fans. Because I can name 4 Krakens.
Doug Christie.
Doug Christie, Gary Payton, and Sean Kemp.
Are Kraken fans?
Probably.
Okay. Confirmed.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Huge Kraken fan. What's next?
Recap our 3 in the key from the Kings and
Suns. Wow.
All right, Dave, we were asking this question of myself and Chris. Booker, he was the only superstar playing for the Suns. So Devin Booker points.
33.
I said 43. Chris said 41. He had 28. Hey, you win.
Yes.
You're good at this.
I'm the best.
Asked Fox and Sabonis points. So Fox and then Sabonis, how many would they have scored? Your prediction?
30 for Fox, 19 for Sabonis.
Okay, I said 29 and 17. Chris said 33 and 19. We're all in the same range. He had 34 and 15. Or he had 34. Sabonis had 15.
15.
Random stat from that game. What would you have given us?
Random stat from that game. I would have said that Trey Lyles gets into it with somebody.
Pretty good. I said that Keegan Murray would hit 6 or more 3-pointers. He made 1.
So you were only 5 away.
I was. And Chris said Fox would not miss a free throw. He was 8 of 10.
I'll take that every night.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
There you go. So now we have an opportunity to do a pick or 3 in the key for tonight.
We'll keep the music rolling, man. Wow. It really bings.
Yeah, it
very
does.
Loud.
Bing.
All right, Kings Nets.
All right, Dave, you start us off. 4th quarter points for Mr. 4th quarter, De'Aaron Fox.
9.
I have 12.
No, I was just saying no in German.
Oh.
I don't want to answer that. 9.
12 for me, Chris.
Chris Verlod.
I'm going to say 13.
13.
Wow.
All right, largest lead for each team, Dave.
I will say 13 for the Nets, 15 for the Kings.
Okay, I have 7 for the Nets, 11 for the Kings. Chris?
Kings 8, Nets 4.
Ooh, close game. Wow. And then random stat.
Trey Lyles is going to get into it with somebody.
I think you could do this all year.
I might be.
And that wouldn't be very random, would it?
No, that's a good point.
I'm going back to it. He's doing it again. Sabonis tripped up.
Wow.
Chris?
I'm going to say Keegan Murray will have 4 threes or more tonight.
Okay. There you go.
My guy, Ben Simmons.
Oh. What's he doing, Dave? What's he up to? Give us a full report.
When we come back, full report on Ben Simmons. Also, Niners at 9. We'll talk to Matthew Barrows. Don't go away. It is SactownSports.com.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Mercedes-Benz of Stockton warmly suggests that you add a Mercedes to your holiday shopping list this year. With finance rates as low as 4.99% APR or 72 months on sedans, SUVs, and all-electric Mercedes cars, it's a great time to visit Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just 45 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, where we make buying your Mercedes a special event you'll never forget. mbofstockton.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung a line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Brock Purdy. Well, let's just look at it this way. Percentage of pass attempts thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage amongst quarterbacks. Now, this is misleading because I'd like to think all passes are thrown behind the line of scrimmage, but meaning the completion point. Number one, Russell Wilson has the most passes thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage, 34.7%. Joe Burrow is third at 29.9%. Tua Tagovailoa and Patrick Mahomes are tied at 29.2% for fourth. In case you're wondering, Brock Purdy, 29th, 20.4%. But I was told he can't pass downfield.
He had some great throws downfield yesterday, that's for sure.
No, it was basically everybody else did the work for him.
Oh,
he just kind of tossed it up. He threw it up in the air and went, wee, and then somebody caught it and ran and broke a bunch of tackles. Much like Matt Barrows can break tackles. He is the king of yards after the catch, and he joins us right now. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm quite well, quite well. Thank you for asking.
You're safe now that you're out of Philly.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel much more at home in the friendly confines of Northern California.
I know you are writing, have written, and have more writing coming up. Here's a little nugget for you. You may or may not have. You usually know everything, but here's something you can use. The Niners now control their own destiny for the number one seed in the NFC, Matt.
Oh, wow. Hold on. I'm jotting this down.
Please do.
Pen and paper in hand. Yeah.
Credit Sactown Sports.
That's big. That's been their goal since the bye week. And so they're in the driver's seat now. Win and they get to rest in week one of the playoff.
Yeah, and how important do you think that is to the organization? I mean, that's obviously a goal because you get more wins. You want that. You want home field. But is that really their target, what they want done here, what they're trying to achieve still?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, this is a team that's played in a lot of championship games over the last, decade plus. And, they know that, they're better off if they're getting that bye week for a number of reasons. You have the rest factor. To me, it's just one less game where something weird can happen. I mean, this team has had bad injuries in the playoffs, up in Seattle in 2013. Remember, Trent Williams was playing with a high ankle sprain in the most recent championship game, the one in Los Angeles, and really wasn't himself in that game. And that was a game in which the Rams defensive line really was pushing the 49ers around. He had a Trent Williams who was, 65, 70% maybe in that game. My point is that just all the weird things that can happen in a game are eliminated if you don't play. So I think that's a very big deal, and it's something that the team is very much shooting for these last four games. Not going to be easy. I mean, I think there's going to be a number of players out for the next game against Arizona. And then you've got the Ravens at home, and then you've got Washington on a short week on the East Coast. So it's not an easy way to wrap up the season, but that's going to be their mindset.
All right, as Matt Barrows joins us, courtesy of Stockton Honda, Northern California's #1 Honda dealer.
Matt, maybe you could use this from our YouTube notes. The Niners are 4-0 against bird teams this season, completing a 3-week sweep of the Seahawks, Eagles, and Seahawks again. They already beat the Cardinals once. They have another matchup with them, and then the Ravens for a chance to go 6-0 against the birds. But that may depend on injuries. Matt, can you tell us anything about the scrapes and bruises and hopefully nothing worse from yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, we'll learn more when Kyle Shanahan talks today at 3:30. Charvarius Ward left in the first quarter with a groin injury. Just watching him, it didn't look as if he was hampered, but he didn't come back into the game. That's usually a 1 to 2 week injury, so I would say that the Cardinals game is very much in doubt for him, and then he might be back for the Ravens game. Trey Greenlaw came back into the game. Javon Hargrave, that would be another huge one, considering that Eric Armstead is already out with a foot and knee injury. He had a hamstring and didn't return to the game. So no Armstead and no Hargrave. That would be a big double whammy. It would mean a lot of snaps for Javon Kinlaw, for Kevin Givens, for Kalia Davis. They'd have to bring up a guy from their practice squad, T.Y. McGill. So that would be a major storyline, I think, going into another Bird week, Cardinals week. Hey, Dave, I've got one for you.
Okay.
The Ravens are visiting Levi's Stadium. There are no Ravens in the city of Baltimore, and probably very few in the state of Maryland. There's a pair of Ravens that live at Levi's Stadium.
What?
And I think that's irony. I don't really know the definition of irony, but I'm going to say that's a great example of irony.
I'm going to give you a piece of irony that you just made me aware of, because I just found this out literally like 3 months ago. So there are like no Ravens in Baltimore, but did you know there's actually a Baltimore Oriole? I didn't know this. Like literally, it's called the Baltimore Oriole. It's orange and black. It looks just like the logo. I just thought they were the Orioles for fun, but there's an actual Oriole called the Baltimore Oriole.
Well, I did know that. Yeah, I grew up in that area and was an Orioles fan growing up. So, yeah, I did know that there was an actual bird called the Baltimore Oriole. And, of course, the Raven is named after Edgar Allan Poe, and he famously died in Baltimore. So there's a very macabre logo there. But I think you have to get up into the mountains, really western Maryland in order to see a Raven. But there ain't no Ravens in Baltimore.
Damn right. All right.
Matt, it was another really good game for Deebo Samuel. He was just incredible. His influence on this offense, Kyle Shanahan afterwards said he's playing at maybe his highest level ever. What does he do for this offense when he is playing like this?
Yeah, I mean, this was a game where I thought it was obvious that they had a little post-Philadelphia malaise to start out, and you can't blame them for that. Just the logistics of that would lend itself to a slow start, but it was really Deebo, that touchdown in the second quarter that woke this team up and sort of gave them the jolt that they needed, and that's what Deebo does. He jolts the other team, but I think that his play, his passion, the way that he runs the ball and fights through tackles, that gets everybody around him going as well. And that's what they needed. He was their double espresso yesterday. I mean, he's the guy that woke them up and got them going, and that's what he's been doing. I mean, that was what the 2021 season was all about. And that's been happening since the bye as well, which is when he got healthy.
Matt Barrow's with us. Brock Purdy. I know that, look, you live in the world of actual journalism and you don't bother yourself with this stuff. I live in the world of, trash journalism and everyone yells at each other. I'm overcome with anger, not just as a Niner fan, but also as a sports host at this disrespect of Brock Purdy. And when you hear things, Matt, like he's assistant quarterback, he doesn't throw downfield. He's surrounded by Pro Bowlers who do all the work for him. Everything's yards after the catch. Does it ever make you raise an eyebrow?
I mean, no. I think everything that you said initially is true, that it's been Brock Purdy that's been sort of operating this machine and operating it at a level that they've never seen before. I mean, they had a very good quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo here for several years. Purdy has gone beyond that, and it's obvious that he has. And I think the numbers at the end of the season are going to show that, not since Jeff Garcia are we going to see a quarterback who has the amount of yards that he has. What I wrote about today is that he's got 3 pass catchers who have a very good shot of going over 1,000 yards. And 3 on one team is extremely rare. The 49ers have never had it. So, a team that's been captained by Joe Montana and Steve Young, that's had John Taylor, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Roger Craig, etc. They've never had a team that's had 3 1,000-yard receivers. Even the greatest show on turf, Rams, never had 3 1,000-yard receivers. That's rare. And that speaks directly to the quarterback. 17 games, yes, that gives you one extra game in some of these past teams. That gives you a little extra boost, but that says everything about the quarterback and how prolific he is and how aggressive he is. And that's not what a system quarterback is.
And you add all those offensive numbers through the air, Matt, with the leading rusher in the NFL. What a luxury this team has for Kyle Shanahan on a week-to-week basis of what he can do and who he can highlight in his offense.
Yeah, and you saw that in the first play of the game, 72 yards. It's gotten to a point where I think it's clear that the 49ers are the best team in the league, and now the pressure is going to be on them to maintain their health, and everybody's going to be gunning for them. They're going to be playing teams pretty soon that, beating the 49ers is their Super Bowl. And so if you just can't take any games off, any weeks off, none of that stuff. I don't think that the 49ers are going to do a lot of resting of starters in week 18, for example, against the Rams. The Rams are going to have something to play for, and the 49ers probably will be, still playing for that number 1 seed. So this is a team that's got to go full throttle, pedal to the metal from here on out.
I want to go back to Purdy real quick because for a while it was just thrown around sort of for fun, just to give him some love. I know the odds makers are now on board. Matt, Brock Purdy is second in the league in yards by quarterbacks. And, I'm not rooting for this, but if CJ Stroud misses this week, which he very well could, Purdy will almost certainly pass him for number 1. Brock Purdy is second in the league in touchdowns. He is tied with Josh Allen for second, just 3 behind Dak Prescott. He is first in rating by 6 points. He is first in QBR as well. How is in your opinion Brock Purdy? Season ends today. Oh, by the way, his team's 10-3. Is Brock Purdy the league MVP?
Yeah, I think he is. His yards per attempt is also, I think it's a full yard, might even be more, beyond the second place guy to in Miami. I think it's going to come down between Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy. And Dak Prescott has been a national story for so long, and he's having a great season. And I think that the only way that Purdy loses it to Prescott is that Prescott is just such a bigger name. People have been following him for longer, and he is having sort of a bounce back season. So that storyline would carry the day. Now, the AP voters who vote for this, these are, handpicked people who are very, it isn't just random Joes. These people are involved in the league. They're picked for that, for a reason. So my point is that, in saying that, is that they should be taking into account everything that you just listed, all the nuances, all the ways that Brock Purdy has excelled this year. I just think that storyline wise, just his overall, notoriety. I think that Prescott probably has the advantage there.
And just real quick, Brock Purdy, in yards per pass thrown, at least, number 1 at 9.9. Tagovailoa second at 8.6. Stroud 8. More than a yard. Stroud at 8.2. Dak Prescott 7.8, tied for fourth with Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's fun to say it, and it's fun to think it. And maybe he loses, to Jason's point we've been talking about all year, maybe he rightfully splits a little bit with Christian McCaffrey. but it just, I don't know how I just don't know what the case is against him being MVP when he's checking every single box.
That number you just pointed out, that's a Kurt Warner-like number from, I forget what year, 99. Greatest show on turf era. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, one gigantic play after another. I think Brock Purdy might even be beyond Kurt Warner. And Kurt Warner won MVP that year. And Kurt Warner was the stock boy in the grocery store. He was a unknown at that point. So Kurt Warner is a great precedent for Brock Purdy. The guy who was playing, I forget what the team was that Warner played for in the defunct league before going into the NFL. That's sort of like being Mr. Irrelevant. So there is precedent for it. Again, I think that the voters are sophisticated enough to see all that and to see that this offense is special. And it's special because it's got somebody making all the right decisions, and that person is Brock Purdy.
Well, let's leave with this, since this has been what I like to call the anecdote interview. We had the Silver Spoons interview. We've had many themes. Here's one for you. Sid Luckman, Otto Graham, Norm Van Brocklin, and Ed Brown. As of right now, they are the only quarterbacks to exceed Brock Purdy's average yards per pass attempt. Brock Purdy is at 9.9, tied with Ed Brown and tied with Kurt Warner in the year 2000. So there you go, Matt. You know your stuff, and it is very Kurt Warner-esque, and I would say Purdy's about the closest to Kurt Warner when it comes to storyline. Of course, he's got a little bit more to do, but they do look quite similar. It's a fun story to watch, and I'm sure an even more fun story to cover. From Matt Barrows of The Athletic. We basically helped you write your article for you, and we'll subscribe. You don't even need to pay us anything. We'll actually pay you, as we do, to read all your fun stuff at The Athletic. You can subscribe right now for just $1 a month. There's all kinds of Christmas specials going on. As always, appreciate your time, my friend.
Guys, thank you for all the great tips today. I mean, my hands started to cramp up. I was taking so many notes.
That's what we're here for.
It's that time of year. Yeah. Matt hasn't had his bye week yet.
Yes.
So. Thanks, Matt. Take care, brother.
All right. Anytime, guys. Talk to you next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That is Matt Barrows. All right. Tell me what we're going to do here. Are we going to push through? Is that what you want to do? Okay. So 23 still are out. We got a couple more minutes. Okay. Good. Because Jason, I've got some, and again, I want to, and just for, because it's been the way our conversations have gone. I don't disagree with you on Christian McCaffrey as far as him deserving to be in the conversation, if not win the whole thing. For the sake of this conversation, assuming Christian McCaffrey is not going to win it. Season ends today. Is Brock Purdy your MVP?
Yeah, I think it's really close between Brock or Dak. Yeah. And then Brock would have the argument. I mean, I don't think they look at head-to-head, but Brock did beat them and beat them handily. Both teams have the same records. Now you just go kind of stats across the board. Pretty close.
They are. I guess my only thing is that Brock is ahead of him in yards. He's ahead of him in touchdowns. He's ahead of him in both ratings categories. Now, I'm sure I believe Dak has one or two less picks than he does, and back and forth. I think it's close. I think Jalen Hurts has kind of taken a hit the last couple weeks there as well. The fact that we're in the week that we're in, going into week 15, talking about Brock Purdy being the Vegas favorite.
Yeah.
The Vegas favorite to win the most valuable player just kind of goes to show you that he really is on he really is kind of on the Kurt Warner track so far when it comes to storyline.
Well, and the whole team also has moved into the Vegas storyline betting favorite of the Super Bowl. Brock's the betting favorite on the MVP. So this is a team that lost 3 games in a row, scoring 17 points each week in those losses. You're like, man, what's wrong with the 49ers? Well, that feels like a long time ago. They've ripped off 5 in a row. He's been a big part of it. The team is really in a good space. And I think his word was perfect. It was kind of a malaise yesterday. Like they were good, but I didn't feel like they were, crushing the Seahawks at any point. I said earlier, I didn't feel like they were going to lose, but you also felt like, man, this feels like they got all these yards. Why is this lead not larger than it was? But in the end, they got another W. Here they are, feeling good about where they are. And when you win, you get awards, you get acknowledgement.
Should we also be talking a little bit more? I mean, off the top of my head, I can't, maybe there's a far more deserving candidate, but should he be in the conversation for comeback player of the year?
I guess so. I wasn't really thinking about that.
I haven't either, but he comes off of we forgot about this. He had to pretty much have his elbow reconstructed. And maybe the argument against is it's not like he had a bad, it's so weird. He's like a tweener. Like I'm pretty sure, because we haven't heard anything about it, that he played in enough games last year to disqualify him for rookie of the year. But if you just took it season by 17 games by 17 games, he's your rookie of the year, not CJ Stroud.
Right.
But the fact that we're in this conversation, the fact that we're able to have this whole talk is pretty darn amazing. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, let's take another look at the highlights from the weekend, or lowlights when it comes to Shohei Ohtani. This whole Bronny James thing is kind of weird. We'll talk about that. We got crosstalk coming up towards the end of the show with Styles and Watkins. We'll be right back on SactownSports.com.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from Truck Smart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since Truck Smart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. Trucksmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Well, what about the last of those Dodge Chargers and Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
This savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. $16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample bin 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of the eligible First Responder Association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10 net savings. See dealer for details.
Number one in QBR, number one in rating, tied for fifth all time in yards per attempt for a guy that, doesn't throw the ball far. And I understand some of those yards per attempt, it could be a 5-yard hitch and they run for 20 yards, but best record in the league, tied for. And then, I don't know that head-to-head should generally matter, but I mean, if you're like at the 9th tiebreaker, his team annihilated the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And he had a better game than Dak.
And so I feel like now you got 4 games left. This is where it's going to decide, right? I think the yards, you're going number 2 in yards, but Dak's like 50 behind. So he's right there.
Yes.
Dak has more touchdowns, less interceptions. So it's kind of like, what metrics do you look at?
Mm-hmm. It's right there.
Yeah. And I would say Dak has, would you put it this way? Based on what we said schedule-wise remaining, if Dak and Brock play the exact same way the final 4 games with the same win total, I bet Dak gets it.
Why? I'm not disagreeing.
What they have finishing. So if they both finish 13-4, but they play the stats are the same going in, their wins to close out will be more impressive than the Niners. Right or wrong?
No, I agree with you.
I mean, they'll have beaten the Dolphins, the Bills. I know the Commanders was one. There was someone else that was decent for the Cowboys. Where the Niners' best win would be the Ravens. All good wins, though.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most, as an MVP voter, where would you rank team record?
Pretty high up there.
So if the Cowboys finish with a better record or vice versa, the Niners finish with a better record than the Cowboys, that's going to factor in a little bit.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I think if there's like a 3-game difference, that's a big story, but it'll be relatively close. I think the other part too is we get back to all these things that are judgmental. What's your definition of MVP? I mean, to me, it's a combination of a lot of things. The value you have to your team. What would they do without you? Your stats. How well did you obviously play and perform? How do you compare against others at your position? All those kind of things.
It's funny because, and this is weird, Dak Prescott has thrown the ball 91 more times than Brock Purdy.
Wow.
But is only, like you said, 48 yards behind him yards wise. Brock has completed 9/10 of a higher percentage, 70.2 to 69.3. They're 1 and 2.
Both are great.
28 touchdowns for Dak, as you said, 25 for Purdy, 7 picks for Dak, for Purdy, 6 for Dak. QBR, Purdy leads the league at 74.7. Dak is second at 74.6. It's pretty amazing. And honestly, I don't want to get too crazy here, but I think right now it's a 2-man race. I'll go a step further, with apologies to Tyreek Hill, apologies to Christian McCaffrey. And who knows, maybe those two, maybe this is the year if Prescott and Purdy are that close. I don't know how it would work where they cancel each other out, but if Tyreek Hill gets all the third place votes.
Yeah. It's also the latest that you've seen, right? Like yesterday, the Niners were good. I don't know how much of the nation. I mean, everybody kind of gets all the football games, but the Cowboys were on Football Night in America last night. Dak was really good. They crushed the Eagles. Tonight, say Tyreek Hill in one of the 2 Monday night games goes for 180, and he's getting closer and closer to breaking the NFL record. He'll start. Oh, is Tyreek Hill the MVP? I mean, like it'll be on shows tomorrow. So the Niners have a showcase game on Christmas. But, it's just always something like, what have you done for me lately? And by lately could be in the last 2 hours.
I do tend to agree with you. I do think if Dak Prescott wins out, it's his. It should be. If Dak Prescott goes into Buffalo and beats the Bills, goes into Miami and beats the Dolphins.
And I'm assuming he's playing well. Not like he can't just.
Right. They're putting up the same numbers, like you said. Then hosts the Lions and beats them, and then, whatever beats Commanders.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
Then that puts to bed all the talk about they can't win the big one.
Correct.
But then 42-10.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not a voter, because if I was a voter, I'd be super biased, and I would already have written in Brock Purdy. I don't even care.
And it wouldn't even be a bad vote.
Wouldn't even be a bad vote. Over the weekend, Shohei Ohtani signed for 10 years and $700 million.
That has to end up as a World Series title, at least one for them, right?
Because of all the money they're investing?
Not in him, too. Like Freeman, Mookie. This organization is, trying to pay for their championships, but look, they're a great team.
Full-time second baseman Mookie Betts, by the way?
But you don't do this just to, the financial impact. I mean, part of it is that.
Sure.
But you also have one of the most unique players in the history of the game, got the most unique contract until the next one. But 10 years, $700 million.
$70 million DH next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he's one-sided next year. And
but maybe he's ready for the playoffs to pitch.
True. Or maybe even comes in and just
out of the bullpen.
Yeah, out of the bullpen.
Or he's an opener.
Oh my goodness. Shohei Ohtani.
But if you paid that much for him, would you want to say, hey, pitch in the postseason next year? Or like
Probably
the
not.
scare of
No, but you could have him pitching for 9 years or some of the 9 remaining years.
And I'm not mad at the Dodgers. Like, as a Giants fan, I'm mad about it, but a lot of pressure on Farhan Zaidi now.
Mm-hmm.
There already was. But if we get another year where he signs Peter Dinkeldorf from the KBL.
Man, he's been doing good, though.
He has been doing good.
What does Peter Dinkeldorf bring to the team?
I can tell you right now, what's sad is that you already know the road I'm going down.
He's a hustle guy.
But
this
is actually
first one to the park, last one to leave.
This is what I tweeted
Brings his belt.
Yesterday morning. Good news for Giants fans. They lost out on Ohtani, but Farhan Zaidi is closing in on a 4-year, $50 million deal with Don DeLope McYargan-Lister of the KBL. Solid fielder, average bat, okay clubhouse.
Wait, who are they getting?
Don DeLope McYargan-Lister. Have you? Yeah, I know.
Peter Dinkeldorf?
And Peter Dinkeldorf.
This is a bigger offseason than I thought.
It's a big haul, and honestly, how is the KBL going to survive after this?
I know.
Is
he truly going to come over?
Well, they're talking to his people.
Okay. They'll finish second.
I think Don DeLope's a great first name, by the way. I'm going to use that. I'm not mad at the Dodgers, though. Like, what are you going to get mad at them? They did what they did what they put themselves in a position to be able to do it, and you just, I don't want to tip my cap to them. But I will tip my cap to them. And by the way, for those of us who want to scream and yell at them and how the great angry giant whatever is rearing its ugly head, the LA Dodgers are 2 spots behind the Giants in payroll.
Oh, how about that? Well,
the Dodgers are temporarily,
yeah.
But the Dodgers were 15th in payroll in the league as of 2 days ago.
How about the I don't know how long of a time span it was, but Friday he was like going to Toronto. At least some quote unquote experts were reporting that.
The one thing that I really was enjoying is there was a real life legitimate rumor that Shohei Ohtani was going to Colorado. And I was completely there for it. Then Toronto reared its head up, and I forget.
We should have started one with the A's.
So
sources.
I went down a little mental rabbit hole on that on Friday because somebody brought that up. I was like, and also I was heavily medicated, and I was like, oh my God, what kind of a total middle finger would it be if, like, what if the A's signed him to like the 10-year $700 million? But like it didn't start for 4 years, so he stayed.
I was just going to say that they would sign him, but to a loan deal, to where they would loan him out, like it would be the first time in baseball history.
I mean,
you can play for whoever you want, but join us in Vegas.
At that point, like I got to think A's fans are super mad.
Yes,
I actually wonder if they did sign Ohtani and he did play for them next year, would A's fans be more happy that? Like they get to see Shohei Ohtani next year, more mad that, oh, now you're spending a ton of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had me vision, like when there was that report of him being like, I forget, well, there was one pretty respected baseball guy that was having him go to Toronto.
That was, and he had to like apologize about it. I forget the guy. He's so respected, we can't remember him. But
exactly. But it had me having visions of the free agency. Remember when Mark Cuban was allegedly driving around Dallas looking for DeAndre Jordan?
And the chair against the wall.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Everyone's going after Shohei.
Yeah.
Where's Shohei?
Exactly.
Shohei Ohtani at $700 million is now the largest contract in North American sports history. Patrick Mahomes, $450 million. Mike Trout, $427. Mookie Betts, $365. Aaron Judge, $360. So that's neat. Between Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts, the Dodgers have $1.65 billion committed.
Wow. The
yeah.
And this is a sport that's allegedly dying.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, how do you rate that? Because I thought about this too. I'm not gonna lie. Would I have been excited had the Giants signed Ohtani?
Absolutely, you would have been.
But I don't know that would have brought me back either. I would have been curious. I would have been show curious.
Yeah.
And I would have watched a few. But they need to grab guys like me. And I have last year, I didn't even try to fake it. Like my contribution to the show was answering
streaking.
Yeah. And all that.
But if Shohei on the Dodgers doesn't get some sort of lift for the sport, what else can they do? Because, I mean, part of the argument is, hey, your best players are Shohei and Mike Trout, and they're on a team in Southern California, by the way, big market. but not making the playoffs. Shohei should be in the playoffs almost all 10 of these years.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Lastly, here's the breakdown. He'll make $70 million a year. Again, this isn't, tax and deferred and all that. That's $5.83 million a month. That's $1.45 million a week. $207,000 a day. Shohei gets paid $8,630 an hour, 24 hours a day. $143 a minute. $2.39 per second. So, for example, Shohei Ohtani made $1,430 in this segment. We'll take a break. When we return, we will crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. And
just Styles.
Yeah, because Watkins is in Vegas.
He's coming back.
Recovering
Vegas.
from that awesome
3-0
game.
Thriller.
All right, we're right back with Crosstalk next.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike to the left hand. Kings lead by 3.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Make Philo your ho-ho home for the holidays. Give yourself the gift of 70-plus channels, tons of festive shows and movies, and unlimited DVR for $25 a month.
Now that's a holly jolly good deal. Philo's got all the channels you love and everything you need to make the season merry and bright. Food Network is cooking up tasty competitions, AMC is delivering Christmas classics, and Hallmark is bringing you all new holiday originals.
So cozy up to Philo today. Visit philo.tv to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton.
Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Plati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey. Today's National Noodle Ring Day. What is that?
I don't know. What is that?
It recognizes recipes made with pasta into a delicious round casserole.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen that before.
I don't think I have either.
It's like cereal.
It's like round pasta noodles.
Okay.
That's kind of stupid. Also, it's my mom's birthday. So
yes.
Shout out to my mom.
Happy birthday.
How are you, Alan?
Great. How are you?
I'm really good, and I'm like super excited to see you, and I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I have gone 3 hours and 14 minutes, and I have not asked about my favorite thing that happened over the weekend. You and Chris emceeing the Santa Parade. Now, I don't know you as well as I do Chris. I go back with Chris to my night show days. So I can imagine you'd be a perfectly fine Santa parade MCer guy. The idea of Christopher Lodge, who is the adult version of the goth kids in South Park, and having to get excited and MC a Santa parade, to me is, I would watch it on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So how did it go, fellas? High points, low points, MVP, whatever you want to break it down. How was it?
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of a letdown for you because Chris really did embody everything. Now,
That's not a letdown at all.
He wore essentially something like what he's wearing
whatever.
now. It
Oh,
wasn't
very-
very festive,
very holiday,
right?
yeah.
I just had on a
Manchester
red
City
collared shirt. I didn't want to go too crazy and have the Santa hat, but you know, the biggest thing was for me was when you get into MC mode, specifically a parade, how MC do you want to be? So I'm reading things I'm reading things the night before to my wife and daughter, and my wife is just like, what is that? I'm like, what do you mean?
Are you doing show? Are you doing?
It was just over the top.
Yeah,
it was just.
Was it
and
Gus
next
Johnson?
you have. It wasn't. I should have done Gus Johnson. And next you have, and she said, "Whoa, man, tone it down." So I toned it down.
You have to do that.
But you
because if
have to do some of that.
If you tone it down, it's just like,
why are you
this isn't
here?
special.
Right. So I went first, and I did the intro. So I set the tone for how showy we were going to be. So Chris had to kind of ride that wave, and he got on the bike and he rode it.
Is there any chance, I doubt it, any chance you guys have any of your notes with you right now? Any of your reads with you, or they're on your phone? Is it in an email?
No, it was a thick packet. I
think
got
I
rid
could
of
find one.
I would I hate putting you on the spot.
Oh, yeah, it was, what was it? The Sac Elite. Next, we have the Sac Elite, a cheer squad from downtown Sacramento.
Yeah, you got to put a little pop on
There
that
was
one.
one, I can't remember what it was, but it's like,
hear Chris.
It was, and now in their beautiful trailer, reminding us of a simpler time.
Right. I'm like,
Did you guys literally just flip-flop?
Yeah, every other one. And then, there was a lot of scrambling going on because not every float had a number. So we had Amanda from promotions, and she was our flagger. So if somebody didn't have a number and it wasn't obvious, okay, that's obviously a cheer squad. That's obviously the what was it? The golden. They were a bunch of golden retrievers, right?
Yeah,
it was called the Golden Group, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't obvious like that, we'd have to have somebody flag us and say, "Hey, that's Huft, that's Huft, that's Huft."
Spotters.
The bad thing was there was a couple of times you just like,
Yeah, I don't know, and we just had to wait for them to cross. And who are you?
I wish I'd have been there.
There was a cosplay group there who they were dressed up like Halo. Simone got a picture with the Halo guy, and the Grinch showed up, and the Grinch was throwing peppermint candies at me. It was a good time.
Oh, wow. So overall, it was a good time, great exposure.
It was.
Alan got a ticket.
I got a ticket from, it was, I guess,
The Shriners.
The Shriners for being loud in public, which I was. It wasn't a real ticket.
They do like a
it's a bit.
Was it the Keystone Cops thing?
Oh.
How did Chris dodge this one?
Yeah.
Chris's mic was a little low.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason.
Was it Chris's
my mic
mic
was
or
pretty
was
low.
it his effort?
You know, I thought about this, Chris. As soon as it ended, my wife was sitting in the background, and she had sent a text, and I didn't feel it. And she goes, "Why didn't you guys just switch mics the whole time?"
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I never thought of that. I never thought of that. 2 hours of it.
Wow, so
Next time.
No sharing
Next time.
mics, but that's great.
Mhm.
It's a good time. How about we should go next time and support?
You should.
How did that come about, by the way? Was that a station thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, station thing. People came up to us after I got the light the beam chant going at the very end.
Hey.
And people were coming up to us asking, "Oh, what sports do you talk about? Do you talk high school sports?" I said, "Yeah, we talk it all.
Whatever you want.
We talk it all. We talk." Today we are going to talk about some of the high schools in the area that went to the state championships over the weekend and who took down the SoCal nemesis and who did not.
Yeah, compelling.
Take that, SoCal.
No, nobody asked me if I wanted to MC it.
Oh, you were on the list.
Was I on the list?
Yeah, you think I was first?
You were Illin.
Nobody asked. Oh,
You think I was second?
No, I'm glad. I think you guys should do it. I think, honestly.
Can we hear your voice, though?
No,
you have to go MC. No.
Huh?
You got to go MC voice right now for
Yeah.
a tryout. Because now it's me and Chris.
Oh,
you have to bring us out now.
To the bar.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies.
Yes. There you go.
I'm gonna have to give you a ticket.
Yeah.
I think personally this should be a tradition.
Unlike any other.
I think Styles and Chris should MC every year. Here's what I want.
Like 50 years in a row.
We're happy to celebrate our 50th anniversary of hosting the Santa Parade thing. It's Alan and it's Chris, and we're here, and like they do the like hold each other's hands up like they're running for office.
Right.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
And then there's like a TV movie made on
Can't
Hallmark.
get to 50 without one.
That's right.
Everything starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to the two of you. You're members of the community.
Thank you. Smashing success.
Success, even. Celebrity birthdays. Jason Ross. Who's old?
Hey, do you know what year the movie Hook came out on this day?
James T. Hook. That'd be 98?
98?
Seems. I'm going to go 96.
I'm going to say 91.
We have a correct answer. It's 1991.
Wow, that old.
How about a few?
Am I 3 for 3 on movie birthdays?
Chris, this is like his wheelhouse.
Rufio.
How about A Few Good Men? Came out on this day. What year?
I was right around 91 too. I was right in that when movies were great.
I'm going to say
simpler time.
It was a simpler time.
I'm going to say 92.
Okay.
93, great year.
I was going to say 92. I'll say 91.
Okay, we have a correct answer. It's 92. You, Dave.
When you had Hook and screw Hook, but you had like the firm
Blue Box,
big, the one you just talked about. What was the movie you just talked about? A Few Good Men. Sorry, like, and they had like soundtracks and had you know what I'm talking about? Like the early '90s, late '80s movies had a look to them. Mm-hmm. Anyways, back to you.
Happy birthday to former King Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Number 2 pick out of Cal.
Yep. To the Grizzlies, Vancouver Grizzlies at the time.
Yep. I'm going to go with 52.
47.
51.
We have a correct answer. 47.
Wow.
Alan Styles right on it.
God, that seems young for him.
Happy birthday to Roy Hibbert.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Big man.
I wanted him really badly one time.
Did you?
For like a year on the Kings.
Oh, for the Kings.
Yeah. Roy Hibbert is he's actually 42.
44.
Aren't you glad you came here? Like this where your career is now.
What'd you say, Chris?
43.
So we have a 42, 43, 44. Roy Hibbert's 37.
Oh,
that is so
wow,
weird.
He should still be playing.
Big man, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
You know.
Yeah, you do.
Happy birthday to, let's see what else we can do here. Willie McGinnis.
Oh, he's actually 55.
57.
Bill.
No way. He's like 45.
Hey, did you hear Frank Wycheck died?
Yeah.
That was weird, man. Frank White, I guess he fell and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Willie McGinnis, 52 today.
Hey, what'd I say?
Not that.
I thought I did.
No.
Okay.
Most Def.
Who?
Most Def.
Who is?
Actor, singer, rapper.
That's an interesting one. I mean, I would say it's got to be 48.
I'll say 49.
I'll say 52.
He's 50.
Hey.
Got it, Dave.
Boom. Steph expert.
Yeah.
Right here. Cash rules everything around me. That's Wu-Tang. All right. So you guys gonna talk high school sports?
That's how we're leading.
That's the whole show.
The whole show.
Maybe some Kings tonight.
Kings tonight,
Niners?
taking on the Nets, and I got something to say about the Niners, and I heard you talking. And well, I think you posted something too. I know we got to go, but the question is, can you be an underdog or be everyone's saying Brock is disrespected? Can you be disrespected and be top 2 in MVP odds? How is that possible?
Ooh, I can't. Ooh, I've got opinions on this. I'm going to listen. I might call in.
Please do. It's just me, by the way.
Is it just
Chris
you?
Watkins still in Vegas.
Yeah, just
that 3-0 thriller.
Right. In that thriller.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's tired.
That's right.
All right. So Alan Styles coming up next on the Styles and Nobody program. Tune in. Coming up. Light the beam. Love you. Bye-bye now.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown!